Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this evening's 101 with me, the Ebster. I'm just waiting for some other people to join in and hoping that they do actually join in. Tonight's game is Arsenal v West Brom, and if we look at the lineup, so we've got Leno in goal, Chambers holding Gabriel at the back, so I'm expecting that to be a back three. I'm expecting Xhaka to play left back or right back, one of them. Ceballos, why is he still there? Who have we got? Elneny in the middle with Ceballos, Pepe, Willian, crying out loud, Smith Rowe, and he decides to play Martinelli. So for the whole season, when we could have actually started Martinelli, but he's now choosing to start Martinelli. And this is the thing about Arteta and his decision making, and you have to question his decision making. Martinelli's practically been available all season, but it's only now he's chosen to start him, and this is what annoys a lot of Arsenal fans. Okay, so if there's any stunting of any growth, and if Martinelli, doesn't play very well, it's not actually his fault. Blame the manager. I don't care what anyone says. You can come at me if you want to, but at the end of the day, when you have a manager that consistently and persists in stunting growth, then it's actually quite disheartening. Hi 18. Hey Ebs, don't worry, we will keep you company. The others look like they don't have the stomach for it. I wouldn't be surprised, to be quite honest with you. 18, really wouldn't be surprised. So we're due to start in about a minute's time at the Emirates. What do you think of the lineup? Are you happy to see Martinelli? Thank you very much, Apollo, and thank you very much, Apollo, for allowing me to start on my own. I am expecting other people to join in, but hey ho, if no one's got the stomach to watch this game, I wouldn't be surprised. And part of me doesn't really blame them. I mean, this is the part of the season where I think a lot of Arsenal fans do actually lose interest. And they lose interest because after a really bad season, with a glimmer of hope here and there until Thursday when he decides to, I mean, I didn't watch the game live. I actually watched scrapings of it against Villarreal yesterday, and quite frankly, there was no impetus. It was as if we were scared to come out of our half. Nobody wanted to run into their half. Nobody wanted to pass, really. So what are we doing now? No, don't want that. So I'm just thinking, am I? Okay, seems as though I need to change channels. So what I'll do is, right, you guys are going to have to keep me updated because I'm going to have to come out of a meeting. Just bear with me for 1 second. Hello, Ebony. Should have just played all the kids or whatever. We'll think we'll win this and move on tonight. Common Gooners and all that. Yeah, I mean, it's not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough. After a glimmer of hope. I mean, why would you take off Aubameyang? Listen, let me just keep my mouth shut. Let me just sort myself out. In the meantime, I'm going to have to ask you guys to keep me updated. So just bear with me for 1 second while I just sort something out. Right, so we've got a free kick and defended well. Whoopie doo. Right, so what I need to do is come out of this. Arsenal are absolutely still reeling from the European. Well, look, at the end of the day, we didn't deserve to go forward. Sorry, but we just didn't. Just didn't deserve to go forward. We didn't even deserve to go into the Super League. Never mind Champions League. We're just not good enough. Absolutely not good. Don't want that. Enough. Right. So I just need to. Yeah, just keep me updated. I reckon it's pressure from the higher ups to finish as high as possible for the little bit of extra money. He's a mouthpiece and a yes man, disgraceful manager. You know what? I mean, I put on the page already. I've already put on the page already. Right, sorry about that. I'm trying to get into StreamYard, but if my laptop is decided that it wants to play silly buggers. Right, bear with me. Taking the piss. Taking the piss. Do not take the piss today. Please don't take the piss. Right, so let me just log out of my phone. Just relying on you guys to keep me updated. Okay. Right, so I'm out of my phone, and then I have to go and watch the game on an app that I downloaded, and I'm hoping that it is showing. Over, Xhaka gets to the byline, and his dangerous cross is headed clear, but only as far as Chambers. Okay. Okay. Right, now we're rolling. Okay, now we're rolling. Okay. Okay, so it's 8 minutes in. I'm on 8 minutes, guys. It's 0-0. Okay, so we've got Ceballos, who shouldn't even be anywhere near the pitch. 8 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm possibly on the same time as you, Apollo. Okay, please stop playing up on me. Please stop playing up on me. Willian with 2 assists today, and I fully expect Arteta to remind us at the end of the season about his assist stats. You know, Willian is another player that shouldn't be in our team, quite frankly. Don't care how many assists he gets. Shouldn't be in our team. Right, here we go. Right, so I'm on 9-11. Who's it that just headed the ball towards the goalkeeper? Right. If we don't win this game, all right. So West Brom are on the front foot, and they've kicked it out of play. Home form is so bad. 2 goals in 9 hours of football at home. That's disgusting. And if you think about, who we've lost against this season, we shouldn't be losing those games. And that's no disrespect to the teams that we've lost to, but we should not be losing. We shouldn't be losing to Aston Villa. We shouldn't be losing to almost losing to Leeds. We shouldn't be losing to Leicester. But then again, Leicester and Aston Villa are quite good. So I shouldn't really berate anybody, quite frankly. Right. So we've yet to get out of our half. I can honestly say that Arteta has a lot of questions to answer. Hopefully, Gabriel, Smith Rowe, and Martinelli will play in a triangle all the time. I don't know. Well, knowing Arteta, I just don't trust the process. I wanted to believe. I wanted to give him a chance. But now his luck has run out. And I wish we just get oh, for goodness sake. Okay, so West Brom are in our half, and they're just pinging it around. Typical Sam Allardyce team. Play it long ball. You just can't seem to. That was lucky. Well defended. We seem to be being bullied off the ball this afternoon. Right, so we're. Oh, that was lucky. We have got to wake up, man. We need you to believe. That could have that was almost that was actually close. Good job, Leno's awake, and I don't rate Leno. Our defense needs to wake up. Right, Gabriel, come on. Come on, get in there, bloody half, for goodness sake. Big Sam coming to the Emirates and controlling possession. Exactly. This is what I mean. It's like we've just become a joke. But anyway, still 0-0 after 13 minutes. Okay, so he's gone to get to the wing. Didn't quite get to our player. Got nabbed by a West Brom player. And now West Brom have possession. And we just seem to be chasing the game, man. If you just joined, welcome to this evening's edition of 101, Apollo's 101. The game tonight is Arsenal versus West Brom at the Emirates. And I must say that, West Brom have had quite a bit of possession. Christ! That's two goals that West Brom could have had. Hit the bar, hit the crossbar. Hit the crossbar. Can't believe it's taken this long to put Xhaka back at left back. He had 14 assists there when he played a few seasons ago. Oh, could have been 2-0 down in the first 15 minutes. Why do I feel like it's a West Ham part 2? Come on, Tobias. I must say, West Brom are defending quite well. Greg G says 12 minutes. We are terrible so far. Ebony Kingston toughing it out because the boys don't have the spine for it. You go, girl. West Brom are going for it. And I must say, I don't say this very often, but Sam Allardyce has got his tactics right. That was wide. We just don't seem to be shooting. We just don't seem to be getting into their half much. And when we do, we lose possession. Come on, El Neni. Come on, Saka. That's it, Saka. Oh, nice. Oh, come on. There should have been somebody at the end of that. Reggie says, players have down tools here. They've given up. Arteta has gone. The players will make sure of that when they lose today. Oh, okay. Come on, Saka. Come on. Oh, what was he brought down in the box? I need to see that again. So no free kick given? That should have been a penalty. He was brought down in the box. That should have been. I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying a word. If you guys can put in the chat who you would want to go at the end of the season? Don't say all of them. Just be specific. Yes, West Bromwich Albion are dominating. They're dominating because Sam Allardyce has got his tactics correct. It should have been somebody. That chance where Saka spread. My brain hurts. Brain hurts. I know it's like it's not even a. Listen, season's bad enough as it is. Players to leave: Leno, Bellerin, Xhaka, Ceballos, Willian. I'd agree with you so far. Anybody else who would you like to see the back of at the end of this season? Will this defense wake up? Don't make me swear before the watershed. Please don't. Ugh. Come on, Willian, do something. You, it's like you is was that holding? Naibi says he wants to see Leno, Ceballos, and Willian gone. Greg G says I want most of them gone. Leno, Luiz, Bellerin, Elneny, Xhaka, Ceballos, Willian. They're falling down over the pitch. 18 says Xhaka, Bellerin, Xhaka, Ceballos, Willian. It's just I love the way that West Brom are just keeping the ball in. It's just that they're just there's such precision that we just lack right now. I'll be interested to know how much possession both teams have had because it seems as though West Brom have had about 70. Apollo saying Allardyce comes in with a plan aimed at how Arsenal play. Simple stuff really that Arteta is inane to do. Hopefully Arsenal get pumped if this means getting a better manager for next season. You know, we've got to show ambition. Straight at the goalkeeper on Nenny. At least you're trying. Nice to see the ref got the memo to let West Brom players foul our players without getting punished. How was that? How was the foul on Martinelli not a free kick? It should have been a penalty with that foul on Saka. He barged into Gabby when he was breaking free, no attempt to play the ball, and stopped the counter. Come on, keep it in, keep it in. Come on, Smith Rowe. Come on, Smith Rowe. Ah, got bullied off the ball. Sunshine. See, this is what I mean. You know, what people need to remember is that if the injuries on some of the older players didn't occur, do you honestly think that Smith Rowe and Saka will be playing? And I've been saying since Saka and Smith Rowe, I know it's hard to watch 18. I know. Listen, I'm used to Arsenal's failures now. I mean, I know I'm moan every season, and I can because I'm a fan. But yeah, I hear you. If it wasn't for the young players, and I keep saying, and I've been saying for quite a while now, let the kids play. They show and Saka's down. I must admit, West Brom's kit is absolutely dreadful. Also, like to know what you guys think of the lineup. Now, for some reason, West Brom have a free throw. Well, it was a foul on Xhaka. We just we're getting bullied off the ball, people. We're getting bullied off the ball. Don't care what anyone says, especially in the middle. And I'm sure West Brom have been relegated, or that could be wrong. In actual fact, no. If they win today, they could be safe. 23 minutes gone, and we could have been 2-0 down. So Arsenal have had 3 attempts, West Brom have had 7, 1 on target for us, none on target for West Brom. I'd like to know what the possession stats are. This game is flat. We are flat. Ricky says, wonder if their relegation clause is in Pereira's contract. It'll end up being a good signing for someone this summer. Who knows? All I can think of right now is we need a manager that can actually get the best out of this team. Right, now would you go? Would you push forward for crying out loud, man? What's wrong? Don't try and shoot somebody. Oh, now we have a free kick because there was a foul on Ceballos from Phillips. They're number 10. If you like chicken and chips, what are you eating? I'll be eating chicken and potatoes later. It's that bad. It's that flat that we have to be talking about food. It is that flat. We just have absolutely no drive in this game whatsoever. Now, Willian is going to take a free kick. That's the only good thing that he's got. I'm trying to give Willian a chance. I'm trying to give him a chance. Apollo's eating jerk chicken and white rice. Okay. All right, we now have a corner. I just had chicken and rice. I think chicken and rice is like the Sunday dish for West Indians this evening. Right, so Willian's going to take a corner. Let it hit our first man, for crying out loud. Come on, Ceballos. You've got players to pass it to. Stop trying to be a hero. Smith Rowe. Come on, Saka. He's got his tactics on point. Reggie says I've ordered a pizza, typical American food on game day. Sorry, dudes. Oh, we've got another corner. Okay, we need more bodies by the goal line. Why have we only got two? Oh, come on, man! Who is more interesting than Arsenal? Right than Arsenal are right now. Is everybody still streaming to Guna Gals? I'm not streaming to Guna Gals actually. I don't even think the Guna Gals, even want to watch this drivel. We just seem to be. I'm just wondering if Tierney's fit. I know he's on the bench, but personally, I like to see Saka a bit more for 1-0. My boy Smith Rowe scores the goal on the counter. 29 minutes, 1-0 Smith Rowe. See, you need to start. And this is what I mean about Smith Rowe, Saka. So it goes to Willian. Saka makes an assist. And to Saka, sorry, Willian to Saka, the assist, and falls at the foot of Smith Rowe. Nice goal. Nice little volley. Yes. Big Sam is just looking forlorn, chewing hard on his gum. All right, so it's 1-0. I'm hoping that we can capitalize on the fact that Villa lost today. And also Tottenham themselves lost yesterday. They lost to Leeds. No, they lost on Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, Leeds to Leeds, 3-1. Yeah, thank God. Um, Great goal and assist. The assist comes from Saka, Bakayo Saka, and Emil Smith Rowe scores on the volley. And here we go with a goal kick from, or goal pass with his foot by Leno, who needs to get gone at the end of the season. So this is Pepe. I think Pepe, what he wanted to do was he wanted to cross it at the path of Saka, but their player got in the way. I just love the relationship between Saka and Smith Rowe. You can tell they're in a football sense they're made for each other. Nothing else. All right, Holding as it stands. So West Brom, they remain 19th. Brighton are 15th. Southampton 16th. Wow. Come on, keep it in, sunshine. That's it. Willian to Ceballos. Ceballos back to Ceballos. Come on, Ceballos, pass it to someone, man. Stop. Oh, well, he just ran into what Holding's foot. Okay, maybe not. As I've just seen the replay, and he's our captain tonight. A lot of people mock Holding. I actually quite like Holding. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Why are you running towards our gut? Oh, come on. Come on, kick it out, man. Just pass it back to Leno. Actually, don't pass it back to Leno. Probably dawdle all day at his foot while he's got an opposing player. Then he decides to kick it out last minute. Right now we're on the break again. Pepe. Oh! Plus. Wow. That just went, that was just one, that came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere. Bro, sis, that came out of nowhere. So Pepe's on the left, comes in across, and don't ask me how many yards that was. He just comes in across and shoots. And Sam Allardyce is certainly chewing his gum harder. That came out of nowhere. You see what happens when you play. You see what happens when you play him in the right position. Is he actually playing in his right position? He's playing on the right as well. That is a great goal. Probably goal of the season. Well, Arsenal goal of the season. Wow. 12th goal. Oh my God. That was an excellent goal. Did not see that goal coming. All those idiots that kept. Listen, if there's one person who stuck up for Pepe, I mean, I've been critical of Pepe, but if there's one person that stuck up for him, provided that he plays in his right position, is me. "36 minutes gone." So we're seeing Lacazette and Aubameyang warming up. Would have liked to have seen Saka start, but never mind. Me and Danny never wavered as Pepe fans. Pepe's come. That was lucky. That was pushed over the bar by Leno? Relegation fat Sam should. Apollo, why does Sabas keep passing to the right when there's clearly other options? Because he's an idiot. All right, so West Brom seem to have a Oh no, we've got a goal kick. Apollo says, me and Danny have never wavered as Pepe fans. Pepe has become a bright spot. Play him and he delivers. Play him in his right position and he delivers. Okay, let's not spoil it. We almost did just now. If it wasn't for, and to be honest, we're not even playing that well. If I'm being completely honest, they've had West Brom have had most of the possession. Apollo says Tobias is that Martinelli tried to score from a distance. Tobias is dead food. Pro lover, he's gone, mate. It was confirmed he's going back to Spain. Good because he's rubbish anyway. Really should just play ESR as an inside forward for next season. He can get goals from that position. Right, so we've had 67% possession. What in the last 5 minutes? Because it didn't seem like we were having that much possession before. Okay. But if you just tuned in, it's 2-0 to Arsenal v West Brom. So Willian is on the break and blocked by a defender. I reckon um, possibly going to get sacked at the end of the season. But then again, Sam Allardyce isn't the type of manager you want full time. Now that goal by Pepe is just a perfect example of why we love him. Shows a prefixed or perfect example of what he is usually capable of, if and when he actually tries. The manager has no trust in him. The manager has had no trust in a lot of players, and a lot of the players that are on loan, as I said on the 101 chat or the 101 page on Facebook, um, we need them. The players that are on loan, we need them. All right, so now we've got a corner, which will be taken by Willian. It was one of those short corners, which I don't like. Come on, Willian. You've not played well. You've not played that great since the Fulham game. And who was at that? Okay, that was Chambers trying to shoot there. Good effort. At least he's trying. So 2-0. Um, Emil Smith Rowe on 29 minutes. And 5 minutes later, on 34 minutes, Nicolas Pepe. Right, come out of our half. Just shoot it. Just get it out, El Neni. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm just like preparing my dinner right now. Okay. Okay, we're in their half and they've kicked it out of play. So we now have a free throw. We're now 43 minutes and the score is 2-0 to us. I must say, to be fair, West Brom have actually played quite well. Okay, so one of their players is now in get. This is Ceballos to Willian to Xhaka. He tried to side it on. I think he tried to score tried to score one of those like cheeky goals, but it was saved by the goalkeeper. So it was a back pass by Willian to Saka. No, it wasn't a back pass actually. I'm mistaken. Thank God for replays. All right, so we've got a corner, a short corner. We've got 1 minute of added extra. Now it's the West Brom players that are falling over. Okay, so that's the end of the first half. 2-0 to Arsenal. Two lovely goals. What did you guys think of the first half? I thought much of the first half we were flat. Couldn't get out of our first half. Couldn't get out of our half. Just couldn't pass to one another, and then we just got lucky. So I'll say most of the first half, really and truly, it was absolutely flat from us. And West Brom actually had a good run of play. But nonetheless, we got 2 goals from Smith Rowe and Pepe. Let's just read some of the comments. Where are we? Cool Case says, I think Arteta has definitely earned a contract extension with his first half showing. 18 says, F off Cool K, you're taking the mick. Can't really swear because it's children are up. Arteta relies so much on his fullbacks. Bizarre, he played Xhaka at fullback as long as he did. His big summer signing will be a right back to provide Tierney, to provide a Tierney-like threat from the other side. Willian playing well is a disaster for us. He'll stick around now. He has got a 3-year contract. Pro Lover says nice, and Naibi says we started badly but managed to get 2 goals. We for the first, I would say for the first half an hour, we were absolutely dreadful. We were flat. There was no impetus. It was almost as if we were defending. We were just defending for the first half. We couldn't keep possession for the first half. You know, West Ham were in our faces. They bullied us off the ball. And then we got lucky. We got lucky. And I'm expecting the second half to be a hell of a lot better than the first half. And it has to be said, we were flat. And the scoreline doesn't actually reflect the fact that West Ham could have been 2-0 up in 15 minutes. The scoreline doesn't reflect the fact that we fell asleep at the back. What say you guys? Do leave your comments in the section. Also, if you haven't already, please click and subscribe. And share the information. Share the information of this channel to all your friends who haven't. If you haven't done so already. Nabi says it started badly but managed to get 2 goals. Thank God we're playing West Bromwich Albion. Guys, what do you think of the first half? I'm not going to ask you for your first half scores as yet because it's just too early. Just in case you're not aware, West Ham lost 1-0 at home to Everton. We're just seeing Everton's goal. And it'll be actually quite, and guess who scored it? Was it, who scored it? It wasn't Theo, was it? No, he's at Southampton. He looks like Theo. No, it wasn't Theo. It'll be very disheartening if West Ham don't actually get a European spot because they've actually played quite very well this season. They've actually been better than us, which we don't often say about West Ham. Arsenal, there withstood some heavy pressure from West Brom from the start of this game, but Mikel Arteta will be delighted to be in front at the break. You know, I would say for the first half an hour, Sam Allardyce got his tactics correct. Like I said, you know, they defended well, they marked us out well. You know, they bullied us off the ball, they kept possession. Greg G says it took a while, but Arsenal came alive at the half-hour mark and are firmly on course to win. That will send West Brom down to the Championship. Yeah, I mean, they worked hard to get up to the Premiership. I mean, getting out of the Championship is not easy. Leeds will testify. We watched Leeds stay in the Championship for 13, 14 years. Andrew Roach says there is a delicious irony if this is the game to send West Brom down. No sympathy whatsoever for Sam Allardyce. I don't feel sorry for Sam Allardyce. I feel more for the players, if anything. Greetings, by the way. Greetings, Andrew Roach. West Brom are struggling to pick up the runs of Bukayo Saka on the left, and it's true. I mean, Bukayo Saka is one of those players that he's so quick, and he's so quick that you need at least 2 players on him. That's how quick he is. Are there any other comments in the section? Here we go. Hulke says Martinelli quite poor and beyond the goal. ESR not doing much better. It's Willian running the show today. Should have unleashed him early this season. Okay, the fact that whenever Willian has played, let's be real here and let's not get carried away. Whenever Willian has played, he's been poor. Okay, for me, Willian is one of those players that plays a good game every 10. He's a bit like Xhaka. He plays a good game once in every 10. Bit like who's the other player that we let go? Mustafi plays a good game in every 10. I'm not getting carried away. The last time he played really well, people got carried away. Oh, Willian, no. Greg G says we know Emery's favourite play in the left back for a cutback tactic. was what we need. What we needed after all. It's surprisingly hard to stop. It certainly is. Apparently Neymar is on a PSG contract extension until 2025. The games against teams right down the bottom of the league are not the barometer of the season, and they're not. They're not. The barometer of our season has been the fact that the manager, and don't get me wrong, the players have got to shed some of the blame themselves, but you have to look at the manager and you have to look at the way he set the team up. And you have to understand that, Arteta, I don't think he knows what his favourite team is. It's a bit like his countryman, Unai Emery. He didn't know who his best team was. And I don't know whether, why would you play a false nine? We don't have high scoring midfielders. Why would you play a false nine? Why didn't you just play a number 9? Because you saw Man City do it. Are you dumb? Please, come on now. False 9. And then in a couple of against Villarreal, you got Xhaka left back when you got Cedric sat there. Our season has been poor. We've had a poor season. We've had an absolute poor season. And, I'm not going to get too gassed about this win, to be quite honest. I mean, I was gassed at both the goals, but in the greater scheme of things, I'm not going to get gassed too much about this game, or if we do end up winning, which I think we will, because there's not really much to get gassed about, really and truly. And I can see that we won't win. We won't get a European place, and I think it will be a good thing that we don't, because we can concentrate on fixing ourselves. Andrew Roach says all momentum after the FA Cup win disappeared quickly. Martinez was sold. One of the biggest mistakes that this club has made, and I don't know whose idea it was, whether it was Arteta. What's up, Bertram? I don't know whether it was Arteta's idea or Edu's idea to sell Martinez. I don't care what you got to say. You can come at me all you wish. We got rid of the wrong goalkeeper. What's up, Bertram?
Ebony, I see you holding down the fort. How you doing?
Yes. Your volume's low.
Oh, okay. Let me try to turn it up. I'm normally told I'm too loud, so that's strange. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I think my volume was low. So what did you think of the first half?
The first half was we started out pretty slowly. I think they had good possessions and very good crosses, but we have a lot of space to maneuver. I think what the game is demonstrating, and West Brom is not the best barometer to use, but that if we had played Xhaka at left back, we'd have an extra attacker, because we'd have replaced him up front with Martinelli or someone else, would then create more mismatches on the left. So he'd be playing with Pepe or maybe a Martinelli on the left. And we'd have a better balanced team. But when we played Xhaka there, or even Tierney, who wasn't fit, who weren't getting forward as much, instead of change how we played. I mean, we played Xhaka there quite a bit last year and this year. Not as much this year, frankly, but last year. And it worked out pretty well. And he did really well there. So it's disappointing that we hadn't done that.
Yeah.
And so it's showing itself up today. Martinelli's not been in the game because we
No,
don't
he's
do a
not.
good
He's
job
been quiet.
we don't do a good job of getting our centre forwards the ball, right? We don't hold possession well enough.
No,
And Allardyce looks like he's giving up because we have overloaded the left side all game, getting on the left side, and he hasn't changed anything. So you think he'd bring another defender over to help.
I think in the second half, he'll probably instruct his two of his players at least to control the left side and to mark out Bukayo Saka. Martinelli, he has been quiet. He's just not. He's just not. Well, although he's getting into a position, he's just not being fed. But in saying that, he did actually try to score after about 5 minutes or so, but he went over the bar.
Yeah, but that's why when you have a balanced team on the field, right? You have real midfielders, real wingers, and real defenders versus all this false stuff, which is nonsense.
Yeah.
Apollo is saying, "Hey, Bertram,
No matter where
Xhaka
you
is
are,
on
at
TV.
home.
Someone is playing. I'm hearing the sound in the background.
Yes. What's
Balling
up,
and
Tony?
not having to hold Odegaard's hand. Yeah, I think. Look, I don't think Odegaard. I know Odegaard and Smith Rowe played well in one game, but that's not the barometer to judge and to inform your team. You got to play people in their positions that they're comfortable. When you play against better teams, you got to be comfortable in terms of where you're playing. And so the first game against Villarreal was where I decided Arteta out because I lost it with the formation, I lost it with the person on the field, and I lost it with the Ceballos lack of change. When he didn't change Ceballos, the false nine, but he didn't change Ceballos in that game. I just thought he was inept, and it didn't make sense to me. Hey, Tony, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Bertram. Hi, Ebony.
Hi. What do you make of the first half?
I've been in and out of the game, so I haven't really been able to concentrate fully on it. But the goals look great. We could have had a few others. I see we created a few pieces. Obviously, first 20 minutes we were holding back, and West Brom looked like they were confident and were giving us some problems. Hit the bar twice, right?
Yeah, they could have scored two. They could have been 2-0 up in first 50 minutes.
Yeah. So, again, that's something the manager has to address. These slow starts are ridiculous. In all honesty, we got away with it. We could have been 2-0 down. The score should have been 2-2. Could have been 2-2. But look, we've settled. We've got our offense ticking now. We're playing some good football. Happy days at the moment. Happy days for this day anyway.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that perspective.
Yeah,
actually.
She's a little too late.
Yeah.
Well, it's
little,
also
too
West
late.
Brom, right? It's also West Brom, so you can't get overexcited against the West Brom. We'll see what happens.
But we could have been 2-2.
Let's see play Chelsea because Chelsea has something to play for. So let's see when we play Chelsea what happens. If it's the same team, or if he brings in the 22s, I call them. It used to be a Magnum or an M60, but now it's the 22s because they're not firing anything. Or the gun barrel is stuck. They haven't cleaned the firing pins. They're stuck, or they haven't done a good job. But yeah, no, it's always good to win, right? Or look like you're gonna win. Game's not over. But it's always good to get a win and move with the point totals. So maybe we can end up in 7th or 8th place. West Ham is not turning over trees. I watched the game today. People say how great the game was. West Ham and Everton. I thought Everton was poor, and I thought West Ham wasn't much better. They play slow. They're back and forth, but it wasn't the same. The game The game has restarted.
Yes, restarting now.
Oh, my screen's frozen.
Yeah. I was reading this morning where Leno is unsure whether he wants to be with us. That's what I'm sort of gathering. He's open.
I want Leno gone at the end of the season. I've given up on him.
And have you seen the rumors about the Ajax keeper?
Yeah.
No.
He's out now on suspension, right, for drugs.
Yeah. So there's he's on a suspension currently, but if he gets overruled as is expected, he won't be able to play until October. But there's he's a highly rated keeper, and he's being coveted by Arsenal.
We always link with players, and it doesn't materialize, right? So you never know.
Yeah.
Somebody's cracking something. If you can, yeah, it's loud. It's loud.
Yes, I'm not believing that we're signing anybody until I actually see the images. Every season we're linked with this player, that player's going to sign and blah. Nah. I'll believe it when I see the images. I'll believe it when I see it on Arsenal.com.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is now we're in that mode. We're in summer mode. Let's be honest. The football we're playing right now is for the summer. It's. I don't actually want to see any of the old players again for the rest of the season.
You just play the kids.
I should. I honestly believe. Don't play them. What is the purpose? We're going to toy around 8th, 9th, 10th. Yeah. Give them some minutes here and there. But, I want to see integration for Balogun, Aziz.
Yeah.
Other players. Reece Nelson needs to get some window time, because if he's off in the summer, well, it would be useful if he gets some game time where somebody who's willing to buy him could actually see what they're getting.
Fair enough. I don't want to see him go, but if it's like that, and you have to look at
I mean,
you have to look at the manager.
He's got to be thinking to himself, well, what have I got to do? Because this team was woeful, and I still couldn't get in.
Talking about? What are you talking about?
Reece Nelson.
Yeah, Reece Nelson.
Oh no, Reece should have left already. Reece supposed to have gone on loan and decided not to go. You got the message now. So, he's not going to play.
So my viewpoint for him is he's got to go, and that's why if Arsenal have any sense, they would play him now as a shop window. The guy's got background. What was it, a year and a half in Germany?
No, Tony's so angry right now. You can hear it in his voice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm done with this team for this season. I'm really done.
It actually gets to that point, as I said earlier, it gets to that point of the season where you're just like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah. I was obviously, I want to try and watch Arsenal whenever possible, but at this stage, it's not like, that important to me.
Okay, we've got a free throw. Been taken by Chambers.
So yeah, for me, I'm just.
Pepe could have scored again, but it was punched away by the goalkeeper, or parried away by the goalkeeper, I should say.
Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to the summer now. I'm just, I've put it out there previously. I can see us leave. Getting rid of between 6 and 9 players this summer. That was 6. That was 6 to 9 before I heard that Leno wants to go.
Bye.
So with that, obviously, I expect a lot of buys, and I think we have the capability to finance at least 4 good players.
So if you had to go, what position do you think we need to
literally everywhere across the whole pitch,
especially left back cover.
Left back, right back. If Bellerin's leaving as expected, look, today shows me they have no confidence in Cedric. They absolutely have no confidence in Cedric. So it's absolutely baffling how this kid's got a 4-year deal on, on what basis?
No, we do a good job of giving people a retirement contract. We gave William one of William one against Cedric one. Cedric about 28. He's going to be 32. That's a good job. William's about 32. Going to be about 35 by the time he's done. So we are very generous with our resources. We do give people retirement contracts. It happens.
Check.
It happens.
Yeah. So, Bellerin will be a goner, which leave Chambers and Cedric. If you don't have the confidence in Cedric now, I don't see anything changing. So
AC says feel bad for
if
Tony because of Paulo
goes and Chambers is our first choice right back, we need a new right back. We need a right back more than we need a left back. Think about that.
No, I don't agree. We need a left back. We need a right back.
Ask yourself this question, Bertram. Next season, who will be the starting right back?
We don't have one.
Right. Do we have a starting left back?
Yeah, but
so no.
Wait. Listen. My reasoning. Listen. My starting left back has been with us 2 seasons now?
Yeah.
He's always injured.
So we need a cover.
He's always injured.
But we have one.
No. I'm saying he's always injured.
Okay, let me give you the left back up for Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, tell your manager that. Tell your manager that. When does he play him? The last 2 games of the season. Tell your manager.
Oh.
Apparently, your manager doesn't think so because he plays Xhaka there. He plays Cedric. He played Maitland-Niles. He played everybody except Saka.
Exactly.
And he has more offensive power that he could have utilized. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't disagree though. We do need right backs. I mean, Chambers filled in okay, but he's not what we're looking for there.
Exactly.
Neither is Cedric. Neither is Bellerin. We need more dynamic players, right? And we need 2 players in every position, just like a City does, just like Man U's creating, just like Chelsea has. We need that. We can't. Some players we can't take out the team like a Tierney. So we feel like we're lost if we do. That can't be the case.
Yeah, but Apollo, you're right. Saka at left back and Niles at right back. But we'll never see that again.
No, I don't think Niles going to play right back. I don't think he will anyway. When you go have success someplace else, it's very hard to then tell you that you got to go back to what was there before. Why would you? So you play for Arsenal. We're not winning it. We're not winning the league. We're not going to be in Europe. You might as well go play for another team that's in mid-table. It's the same. At least you're playing every game. We want to sit on the bench and earn a paycheck versus, you know what? I get to play and show my ability, and that may increase my value. That's what pressure does.
Yeah. So I do believe right back is more pressing than left back, but both are required. Absolutely. Centre halves, we've got good cover. Goalkeeper is a glaring requirement.
Yeah, well, I thought
Ryan
is a good. I thought Ryan. I don't think goalkeeper is glaring actually. I think goalkeeper
we need a new goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think goalkeeper we can improve, but Ryan is a decent backup. I see we have Runnarson today.
But if Leno goes, we don't have a first choice goalkeeper.
Well, that's true.
And quite frankly, Leno is not a first choice goalkeeper. Finish.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't say that. He's a decent goalkeeper. He's not
first choice. You're never going to win a league with Leno in goal. He cannot be a long-term option.
Well, you never know because
be a long-term option.
Well, you never know because we don't have the people in the field to defend him. He's always going to get tested.
Come on, the geezer scores own goals. He flaps at
corners.
And
he's so indecisive. I could make better decisions than him.
His passing is woeful from out of the box. How can you possibly have faith in Bernd Leno being at this club in another 10 years' time? Because at his age, he's got another 10 years of playing. Ask yourself this question, Bertram. Would you prefer Bernd Leno or Wojciech Szczesny right now?
Well, Szczesny has improved, right? Here's the thing, Tony. When Szczesny was here, we ran him out of town.
Yeah.
We ran him out of town. We ran the West Ham keeper out of town. What's his name? We ran them all out of town. And now we're saying, you know what? They're better. We don't think so when they're with us. It was only when they leave us. It's like you have a woman who is great and you didn't treat her really well. And then if she leaves, you're like, oh, my God, what happened? That's not how to operate. You have to appreciate what you have when you have it and accept some of the flaws. They may not be the best, but I think he's a good goalkeeper. He's not a great goalkeeper. He makes too many mistakes. But you know what? We make mistakes all on the back line. Whether it's I watched Leicester yesterday, and we talk how well Fofana is and Sinugo is, and they weren't that great. They're making mistakes all over the field. That's how Willock scored his first goal. Was the central defender making a mistake? So I know as fans we think the players should be perfect, and they're not. But you know we should do better as a team. Williams started out poorly today, but he's improved his game throughout this game.
I've been saying from day one, me and Apollo have been saying from the moment Martinez was sold, that's it.
Look, I saw Martinez for Villa today. He wasn't that great. One of the shots he should have saved. Every keeper makes mistakes. That's why we're human beings. We're fallible. You're going to make mistakes.
But one thing I will say about Martinez is that his decision-making is a hell of a lot better than what we have right now.
No, I agree. He was given a chance to compete for the job, and frankly, the way he played after Leonard got injured suggests that he probably should have given a chance to retain number one. But the firm make a decision, and that money probably was used to supplement the Partey money, or that's how we got Partey. But Partey has been a big disappointment, frankly. We can all say anything we said, but between his injuries and his play, he has not justified his high salary or his purchase price.
No, he hasn't. I agree.
So it's like everybody had a 1 year. They picked a year to play their worst football, right? Yeah. Aubameyang, William. We saw William at Chelsea last year. He wasn't a bad player at Chelsea last year. William, Aubameyang, all the players.
Yeah.
Which makes you ask the question,
what's the common denominator? Players who lost form.
Yeah.
Common denominator, the manager.
I won't say. Look, I don't know if I would say it's the manager. I don't think he's a manager for us, I must admit, because I must tell you that after the first Villarreal game, I lost it. I was like, I've lost confidence in you. I was going to give you a chance the next year, but I can't support you anymore.
You lost it. I think you lost it at the Everton game.
Well, yeah, but it solidified it at the Villarreal game. Because there are decisions that you make which you can't understand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the Villarreal game, I said, that's it. He's got to go. He's got to go.
I mean, ultimately,
Xhaka.
The job he was able to do last summer.
Oh, the manager.
Was far better than the job we're seeing today. Because
so here's what I realized,
are you talking about Arteta?
We beat Liverpool. We beat Chelsea.
How do you miss that?
Are we talking about Arteta here? Tony?
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's lost the dressing room or he just hasn't got a clue, or, a lot of questions need to be asked of his decision making.
I mean, let's be honest. Being a manager is not an easy job. Although many of us would be able to say tactically, we could probably make better decisions than some of those that we've seen him make on the pitch. But, we don't see all the background stuff. We don't see all the
Smith Rowe should have scored that. ASR should have scored that. The ball went between his legs. The ball went between his legs. It came at a good pace.
Martinelli's coming off and Lacazette's coming on. And what minute is this? 59th minute. Wow. When you look at goals, our goals against, it's about our goals for.
I mean, this is interesting. Lacazette. Obviously, striker is one of those positions that we have a need in the summer. Big decisions to be made. Do you give Lacazette an extension?
I would.
Really? Bearing in mind he's already on 250 grand a week.
I thought Lacazette was on less than that. Okay. And now El Nenny's injured. As much as I love Lacazette, no.
Oh,
Tony's on 180.
180, okay. So 180 would be at a bare minimum on a contract extension. He's looking 220.
West Brom have they've been throwing their elbows all game, This is the third time or fourth time in the game. Our West Brom players and elbowing our players. William got elbowed. Gabriel got elbowed. And then Mount is all blooded. Sometimes the elbows are not by mistake.
Yeah. Should not VAR look at that?
It should, but VAR
It
is
should, because
incompetent.
that's a clear elbow.
Yeah.
It's not. It's clearly a movement of the arm. I can't see how VAR isn't having a look at that. Foul play.
They didn't even use VAR for the foul against Xhaka in the first half when he was brought down in the box. So
I hear Tottenham had a few VAR issues yesterday. Bertram, you're on mute. You're on mute.
now my boy's coming on.
No, you don't want to hear me. You don't want to hear me.
Oh. Did you watch the
So he's
Tottenham
taking
game
off Smith
yesterday?
Rowe, and he's bringing on Tierney.
Who got changed?
Smith Rowe and
Okay.
Martinelli. Dans is saying, listen, Arsenal might not thank me, but get the contract out, put it on the table, let him sign it, let him write whatever he wants on there, given what he's done since he's come in.
How?
He's talking
How
about
do you work
Lacazette.
that, Dans?
Dans, he's got
The
2
guy's
goals
never
and
hit
got
20
about 2
goals
goals and
in a
1
season.
assist. What has he done that's so exceptional?
Yeah, he's
He's
never
got 2
hit
goals, 1
20
assist.
goals in
Willock
a
has
season at
5 goals.
Arsenal.
Willock has 5 goals, and he's played much less minutes. So should we give Willock, or should somebody else Mark Hughes give Willock a contract for whatever he wants? He's a decent player, but he hasn't turned the world on fire. That's another thing too. We're overhyping our young players. They're very good players, but let's not say they scored 20 goals in the season. And we have to do things in moderation. And we sometimes get carried away and let it play out. My hope is that Tierney stays fit. He gets injured quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh. Xhaka has placed so many balls across the face of the goal, and it hasn't gone in the net. Yeah, there was another one.
The thing that you can say with Xhaka is that, like many sports, the COVID period last year meant that, some players didn't get that full pre-season in the way that you'd want them to. And obviously, they're young. So young players do get injured easier. They haven't quite got their full adult muscles yet.
Yeah, my concern for him is he was injured in Scotland. He came to us and he's got injured twice already. So your hope is at some point that will cease.
All right, who's that? All right, West Brom.
I'm surprised he didn't play Ryan today. Ryan must be injured because obviously he's not on the bench.
The thing I would say with the injury situation, Bertram, is that this is probably the best season we've had in a good 12 years of injuries, because literally there hasn't been a player who's been out for the whole season.
Oh, that's true, actually. But we've had quite a bit of injuries, right?
Yeah, but look how long people are out. They're out for 2 months, and then they're back. Even
oh my God, He
I
dribbled from
know.
his own half and scored. Like, are we kidding me? We're backing up, backing up, backing up. He's dribbled from his own half and scored. Like,
Christ
that's what I'm
almighty.
talking about. Literally, okay, got to be ball in the middle of the field. And he's running, and Ceballos can't catch his
And no
mother
one's
as
stopping
he's
him.
slow.
No one's stopping him.
And no one is stopping him. Yeah. No one is stopping the ball. So Pereira take the ball in the middle of the field. He's dribbling on his left foot. He's dribbling, and we're just backing off, backing off. We have Ceballos always running behind the player because he has no speed.
No
And the
defense.
ball goes in the corner, and it's bounces in the corner. It's puzzling.
Bios is treading water.
Yeah, he can't
Christ
run. He
needs to
can't
go.
run.
That's
Did you see him
awful.
against Foyt? You saw him against Foyt, right? Foyt, who can't run either, and he's running, leaving him.
Wow.
That's why you need midfielders with some athleticism. He has none.
That's awful from Ceballos.
Yeah, he can't run.
I'm glad he's going.
The man giving the ball is not even quick.
He was
and you
literally
can't catch
on
up
his
with him.
shoulder. A man running with a ball is faster than a man running without the ball.
He can't run, right? So
Unbelievable.
well, we don't fail to disappoint. We have a way of that's what we do.
Yeah, wow. So where was we?
You know, post somebody should post it by us, for Christ's sake.
The biggest needs, centre midfield, because we're going to lose two of them in the summer, I'm sure. At least. At least 2, maybe 3, possibly even 4. Because if you count Lucas Torreira, Guendouzi, Maitland-Niles, El Neni, Ceballos, you know, at least 2 of them.
Odegaard.
Probably.
We're gonna lose Odegaard also.
Yeah. So that's a lot of players that are going out or potentially going out where you go, we're gonna need something.
You may also lose Lacazette. It's a lot of players.
Yeah.
Nelson, Lacazette. It's a lot of them. Torreira, Guendouzi, Nelson, Lacazette. But you're getting Saliba back.
Yeah.
You may get Mavropanos back.
Yeah.
If we've decided that he's ready for the Premier League.
I don't see that. I think they'll give Luiz another year. I think they'll give Luiz another year and say, because don't forget, Luiz took a pay cut for that last year contract. And if he agrees on the same thing again, because he can't get no money nowhere else. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going to pay him no money. Even though he's a free, they're not going to pay him 150 grand. So whatever Arsenal are paying him 100 grand, he's going to have to go, look, I live with that. I've lived in London for a long time. Unless he goes to his boyhood club, which was Benfica.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they have the money at Benfica to pay anybody.
Exactly.
That's not happening. You only get that in the Premier League probably paid the best on average. Yeah. You get higher wages in La Liga, for example, individually, or even Neymar, PSG, and Mbappe, but on average, the Premier League probably paid the most.
Mm. Ouch. Terrible tackle by Ceballos.
Yeah, I think Ceballos believes he's better than he really is, actually. I think he's regressed. Actually.
He has. He looked a lot more vibrant a player last year, despite not creating, barely anything. Scored, 1 goal last season?
Yeah.
And, maybe 2 assists in the season. We questioned why he was coming back. But I kind of looked at it and thought, well, you know what? I think Arteta must have seen something in him that made him think I can improve him. But clearly this season, whatever he saw last season has gone completely away.
I don't know why he's playing him now, though. I mean, the season is finished. He's going back to Spain. Why are you playing him?
Yeah, I agree.
You got to be find out other players you have who you want to see how they're doing,
See
right?
how they can pull. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Why are you playing him? It doesn't make sense to me. Manager is different. I keep saying this, Tony, which is I haven't seen Pepe beat a player like what you see Xhaka did today. I haven't seen Pepe do that
Yeah,
all
yeah.
game. I haven't seen Pepe do that in games, frankly. And I'm seeing going by players and creating mismatches. Like he has the ball
Yeah.
now, go by him. See, he doesn't go by players anymore. He can't beat the player. He loses the ball every time he try to beat the player.
Mm,
There's just another
yeah.
example. Even before I said it, it happened.
Yeah.
He cannot beat a player anymore. It's amazing, actually. He lost that in a year. He steps over, goes right, and they step in front of him and take the ball from him. West Brom almost scored again. They're getting confidence.
See, I did say this is going to happen.
He has improved Smith Rowe up. Smith Rowe improved when he went to Hull. He has improved him. We can't give him credit for improving. I think sometimes managers in the Premier League get too much credit for improving players. Players improve during the maybe in terms of positioning, but their skills, their ability to control the ball, pass the ball, beat a man, that's not Premier League managers. That's where they grew up in academy and playing on the street.
Whew. Is that technically true? I have to question that statement.
You think Guardiola improved Sterling's ability to beat a man, make a pass? Really?
Do you not think that Sterling has
Sterling
improved
playing for
during
Liverpool
his
when he
time?
was like at 17 years old, 16 years, 17 years old. Really?
Do you not
I
think
don't see
Sterling
that.
improved in his time at Manchester City since he left Liverpool?
I think so.
How? In what way? In scoring, yes, he scored better. He scored goals more. Has he
Okay.
improved? I don't know.
Let's take this season away. Let's go back one season. Last season, he was unplayable.
Yes, he was.
Right? So it's a bit like your boy Zaha. Yeah? We could turn around and say, we look at certain periods in his career and we go, Wilf Zaha is completely unplayable. Yeah? But then certain points, it's like, what do I get with Wilf Zaha? Yeah? Your boy Alan St. Maxim. Again, I understand where you're coming from in your love of his skill factor. Yeah? But there are times, and especially the game against us, where you go, does he do anything to make you think that's going to equate to anything great in a team like ours?
So here's why I think I disagree, right? So at one point, Spurs were going to buy Grealish for like 30-something million pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he was playing the championship, playing for Villa. But obviously, he didn't play for a big team. He didn't have the same name. So are you telling me that some manager improved Grealish, so that's why he's playing the way he does nowadays? Is some manager who did that? Was that great manager? Is that his current manager? Who did that? That Grealish got to this point where he is, because right now he's unplayable. He's probably the most unplayable player in the Premier League.
So here's my viewpoint on that question. Obviously, you learn your grounding in between the ages of 7 and 16. You go for your academy and you do all your flick ups and your tricks and your skills and so on and so forth. Yeah, you play academy football and you get to explore yourself as a player. And depending on who you're working with, they're going to allow you to express yourself, or you become, you become
like Pepe. You become like Pepe. Go on.
Or let me give you a classic example. You might be someone who was a striker, like Ashley Cole, and they go, actually, you're going to end up as a left back. But you then become the best left back in the world.
Right.
From that 7-year-old to the 16-year-old. And you come out and you fire up and you're like, wow, yeah, what an amazing player. But what you didn't realise is he started off as a striker, or he started off as a midfielder. He's now a centre-back. Yeah? So, for me, it's a good manager or a good coach. You know, sometimes we get those words mixed up. What is Arteta? Is he actually a coach or is he a manager? Well, to me, he's a coach. He's a useless manager as far as I'm concerned, but he's a good coach or a potential good coach. Looks at a player and should be able to work out, right, this guy works best in this set system. Yeah? And uses the attributes. So he can beat a man on his left side easily. What do? I play him on the right-hand side, so that he has the ability to cut in onto his left foot, get to the edge of the box, and unleash a volley of extreme velocity, like we saw today with Pepe. So I understand what you're saying. A coach, your job is to say, okay, is Pepe better off playing off on the left, where he can go left of a player and get to the byline and put the ball in? Or is he better playing on the right, where he can cut in onto the left and be more central and get a shot off? So that's the difficulty of trying to work out the difference. You're on mute, Bertram.
Yeah, so here's the difference. Is that improving the player, or is that putting your team in the best position to win?
That could be a combination of both.
No, because you're putting the players, give their capability in the position that best suits them and suits the team. Doesn't mean that person's individual capability has improved. The team collectively, the team as a unit, the team in terms of harmony and how the parts fit together has improved. But you as an individual, how did your game improve? You fit into a team, but that doesn't mean your game improved. You improved me by, you know what? My positioning, how I move off the ball, how I can go by a man, how I position myself to, or I tackle well. Those are conceptually what improved the player, not because I fit into this whole. Oh, tell me, William is injured. We made all the 3 changes, didn't we? Not because I fit into this whole construct. Yeah, I think we made all 3 changes.
Yes, Lacazette, Partey, and
Tierney.
Tierney. So we've made 3 already.
Yeah.
So continue where you were saying about.
Yes, I don't necessarily agree that that's improvement in the player. I think it's more improvement in how my team can be constructed so I have the best chance to come out with a victory. I don't necessarily think about it as a player itself.
So what you doing as a coach in trying to work out a player's best position and how to utilize him best is you want to get the best out of that player at what he does. So let me give you another example. Riyad Mahrez. Quite clearly, Riyad Mahrez, he could have been, for all we know, he could have started off as a striker and been converted into a right winger. But now, what you're seeing is the best of Riyad Mahrez. Yeah? He can beat a man. He can get on the end of a cross. You know, there's so many assets to his game. He can see a through ball. Yeah? He can beat a man. And I think that's what coaches, that's what their job is. Yeah? To be able to get the very best out of players. Now, Pep's lucky because he's got, you know, an assortment of riches. You know, I think we've lost Bertram. But Pep's lucky. He's got Phil Foden, Mahrez, Sterling, De Jesus, Aguero, Gundogan, you know, a whole host of players that he can choose from. Wait for Bertram to get back in. I'm about a minute or so behind you, Ebony. So how's that free? I'm seeing the West Brom free kick. How's that gone? Oh, you're on mute as well.
Didn't go anywhere.
No, you're on. Okay.
It's still 2-1.
Yeah.
So basically, who do we have? I mean, Man City have got depth in strength. We don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I see.
That's why they can afford to play like 9 teams. We can only afford to play 1.5.
He's having a meltdown.
Greg, you're out of order. Greg,
I'm not
you
even
are
reading
out
that.
of
I'm going to say
order.
a major meltdown.
Stop it.
Greg, you need a
Stop
red
it.
card.
Mm.
Stan Kroenke in the house.
Hey, Tony, check out Bertram's third shirt.
Huh? What?
What's that? The end one? What? What's your shirt?
Oh, you mean and one? This was a whole basketball. They used to have this basketball tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like Globetrotters, but they can play basketball.
Oh, I know the and one. I know the and one well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be an avid follower.
They're very creative, skillful.
Yeah.
One of the biggest changes from recent years, this is Andrew, is the athleticism and the fitness of the modern day player. Imagine John Mobley attempting to do this. Overall, I feel in terms of players' lifespan, people's lifespan, players' playing time, all that's improved. Better nutrition. Players being given opportunities from different countries.
I mean,
the UK opening up, that's the biggest thing. The UK opening up is the biggest thing as it comes to this.
Yeah, I mean, look, I grew up in the era when footballers still smoked.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Pepe has not beat his man goddamn one-on-one all game. This is unbelievable. It happened again. I've been saying this for the last month. People give me a hard time. Roberto, you know what you're talking about? Tell me when last he's beaten his man one-on-one. This is crazy for a winger isolated. Like, you can't tackle Grealish and Zaha and Maxwell one-on-one. Are you crazy? It embarrass you. He gets dispossessed one-on-one like crazy. It's unacceptable.
That's why he's got to go.
It's unacceptable. You saw that? Dispossessed by some wingback who can't play football.
Yeah.
Like, it's disturbing, frankly.
And that's down to Arteta choosing him.
Well, no, he scores goals and he can play, but I don't understand why he can't beat his man anymore. When he first came to us, he had Van Dijk's on skates. Like, it's all kinds of me playing position football, running back, I don't know what happens. He can't beat that man anymore. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at this and say, okay, look at the statistics of one-on-ones and your success ratio. What can you do to improve that?
But when he first came, Tony, remember when he first came, he had a ball in the middle of the field, he went between the first player's legs.
Oh, come on. You got to do better than that, Chambers.
Yeah, I don't know what Chambers. I know why Chambers did that, Tony. He's emulating Partey. because no one does that better. You practice not to learn how to shoot. Don't lean over the ball.
Yeah.
Partey is crazy.
Williams had another nothing game.
He was doing better in the second part of the first half, but he's dropped off dramatically.
I just don't rate the guy. Can't wait to see the back of him.
Well, you have him for 2 more years, because nobody's gonna take him.
I think we should cut our losses.
It doesn't make any sense, Ebony.
No,
you're just giving away money.
Yes,
I know, but just can he be sold?
No, he can't be sold.
Even the Ozil deal makes no sense. It's a ridiculous piece of business.
Now, Ozil was a combination of both financial, but more importantly, it was about the manager that was wanting him around. He thinks he's a cancer.
It's an awful. I mean, really, he's that much of a cancer. But the man's won FA Cup with us.
No, Tony. When the club don't say anything, and you talk about the situation in China, you talk about club wages. You've been around toxic people. You just want to get away from them.
Wow.
At all costs, by the way, at all costs.
Wow.
Doesn't matter what it costs you, I want you to go. Yeah, if you have employees like that, who always threaten you with litigation or whatever it is, you want to get rid of them as soon as possible, ask them to go, incentivize them to go, pay them to go. Happens.
Oh, come on.
Apollo is saying, Bertram, shame Stan doesn't actually watch the games and just look at the results. You think we're flying after this? I think Stan thinks about how does it affect the market value of my asset, and right now he's realizing that he needs to do something to change that. But he's struggling because he can't just change the regime again. He just changed it twice already. So how does he change it again? It doesn't make sense. He's in a really difficult situation.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for the excuses Arteta will give if West Brom equalise.
And they may, the way we're playing, they may. We're not keeping the ball. I mean, so we realize that we're not keeping the ball.
Playing.
Yeah.
We completely stopped playing.
We're like defending this 1-goal lead.
You have to go when you make substitutions, they should be a positive impact on the pitch. Your game shouldn't just get worse. Your game should improve. You got fresh legs, new impetus. You've been able to see the opposition, how they move, and make effective changes.
So why did he change William? Why is William on the field? I think
that's my point.
He's still trying to prove something with William, and he's only proving that he's clueless. He's only proving that he's clueless.
He's got to justify his existence by playing.
His price tag. He's got to justify his price tag. And I think he believes in the player and realized that sometimes we lose it, and the coach is the last to know. The coach should be the first to know, but he's the last to know.
As I said, Andrew, Emery had Niles at right back and Xhaka at left. His fullbacks were 10 times better than Arteta. True. All right, we're on the break now. Oh, we've got 2 minutes of normal time left. Willock goes out on loan to a struggling club and outscores the entire midfield at Arsenal.
Well, Willock is a goal scorer, right? He scored for us too. He's a goal scorer. Scored in the Premier League. He scored against Liverpool.
He should never have gone out on loan. I don't care what anyone says. This is what I mean about the man management of Arteta. He's got no man management skills.
No, I think he and AMN probably asked to go on loan because they believe in their ability and they want to play. And then if they're with us, the manager doesn't respect them enough to play them. So why wouldn't you go on loan? They probably push to go on loan. Unlike Nelson, who I'm not sure what Reese is thinking, but he should have pushed to go on loan also.
Like you say, would love Arsenal to hire Simeone and bring Suarez, Costa, and some complete nutcase Uruguayan centre half with him, just to add a bit of nasty housery, and someone to kick lumps out of their own teammates in the dressing room because this team is just too damn nice.
S-H-I-T housery.
I know. This team is just too damn nice. They don't seem to care. They are poor. Or Bielsa. Would love Bielsa.
Oh, he finally did it. Oh, he finally did it.
William?
He finally did it. And it's a special. One of his Chelsea special. He had a flashback. He had a Chelsea flashback. Oh, my Lord.
Nice. Well done, William.
He had a Chelsea flashback. Wow. I think they want him to score too. Finally.
Oh.
He had a Chelsea flashback. I've seen him do that like week after week for Chelsea at one point. Didn't he have 4 or 5 like consecutive weeks? He scored free kicks. Yeah, one of those special, which is unsavable.
I'm getting carried away. I'm not getting carried away.
And West Brom wall was poor though. The wall was poor, but even with the wall, he probably still would have scored. The wall was poor.
Finally.
That's special. That's a special free kick.
That was a nice free kick.
So now, if you add up William, Smith Rowe, and Odegaard, I think they've caught up to Willock. No, maybe they're one short. And Willock scores against Liverpool, against Chelsea. Who did he score? Like all the good teams, West Ham, Spurs. He scored against all the better teams.
Did you see
William
wipe out the defenders in that side of the field?
Yes, he did, didn't he? He wiped out the entire side.
That has got to be the best free kick that Willian has ever scored.
No, he scored better free kicks. No,
I mean in an Arsenal shirt.
Well, that's the only goal he scored in the Arsenal shirt. So,
Did you not? Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's the best free kick that he's actually taken.
yes. He has scored a goal for a whole season. So you know how much that goal is in terms of money? Because he makes what, 220 per. You know how much goal is? That goal is like $1 million. It's more than £1 million. If you think about
For real.
for 8.
The most
that's an
expensive goal
goal,
in the history of Arsenal.
That's a very expensive goal. That millions that goal is. Wow. I think El Neni is. You know what? I like it. You know why I like El Neni? Because he's safe. I like safe players sometimes.
Yeah, but he's too back sideways.
No, he's a safer hand. He's not making the Xhaka mistakes. He's not making. Xhaka is a better player. He's not making the Xhaka mistakes.
Here comes Lacazette, and he gets tripped up. Get up, Lacazette, please, because you're not going to get anything for it.
So West Brom is down. Sheffield is down. Is Fulham down as it, or they're close?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That must be the worst feeling, knowing that your future is inevitable in terms of what's going to happen.
Southampton aren't really safe either, to be quite honest. I mean, there's about 5 teams that aren't really safe.
Yeah, Brighton, Southampton, and Burnley are still in shouting distance.
So where are we now? In 9th position or 8?
No, 9th. We're 9th. We're 3 points off of Everton, but Everton have a game in hand.
Is Lacazette injured now?
No, G. I saw Pepe's goal. The fact of the matter is, he still hasn't beat a player for the entire game. I saw his goal. He came inside. He didn't beat the player. He came inside on his left and hit a screamer, but he still hasn't beat a player all day. And as a winger, that's part of your responsibility, to go by the wing back, create mismatches, let a player come over so your player can be freed. You don't create those mismatches, I can just sit back and watch you all game.
Yeah. I think, when you look at it and consider many of Pepe's goals are that I'm going to run at the goal and get my shot off. Yep. So the fact that he does run at players to score his goals is testament to the fact that he is capable.
No, he's capable. We know he's capable.
But
he's done it in the past.
It's more a case of, in open play, it should happen more often.
I think what's happened is when he came in, that's what he did a lot, right?
Yeah.
But he turned the ball over like Sanchez. And at some point, the manager probably said, that's not good enough. I can't play you. This league is very unforgiving if you keep turning the ball over.
Yeah.
So then you go into your shell, and now you're very scared to dribble. So when you get to dribble, you probably forgot what you need to do, or you try to be so careful, you're not taking the same risk you need to take.
Yeah. That's an amazing stat. 12 goals, 5 assists.
And Arteta never really played him.
I would play that every week. But I understand you, Bertram. I agree. I agree with you. He doesn't pass his man enough. But that goal threat alone, He's left foot
is lethal. His left foot is lethal. It's a lethal left foot.
I mean, there's actually few players who you can think of in the Premier League who score that goal consistently. From the left wing.
Yeah, what he does, he gets on the left wing, he goes right, then he comes back to his left.
Yeah.
He push it, and then he try to go to far post.
Yeah.
He always going far post 90% of the time, right?
Absolutely.
So as a defender, you got to force him to go on his right foot.
Absolutely.
No matter what he does, you don't care. If he even beats you on the line, you say, you know what, I'll make that sacrifice. Because on the sideline, the touch line is also my defender to help me to keep him. But then again, we don't know about Leno, because you see what happened with what Xhaka did that, and see what happened with Rick Carlson scoring. So you never know.
Bertram is spitting blood. Don't listen to him. If you play Pepe, he scores, he creates. End of.
I've never said don't play Pepe. Where have I said don't play Pepe? Let's not confuse the conversation. I said Pepe doesn't beat his man enough. That's a fact. In this game alone, he hasn't beat his man once.
No, that's not technically true.
No, he has.
Who did he beat? Who did he beat? Who did he beat?
Well,
When?
let's be honest. He had to beat the man to get.
No, he
shot
didn't
on
beat
goal.
him. No, the man shadowed him. The man shadowed him.
Right.
The man shadowed him, but
Technically,
shadowed him to the wrong
the man
side.
was in front of him before he got to the shooting angle.
He didn't beat him. He can't beat you at this point, Tony.
Okay.
You could go out there and play him. He can't beat you. Trust me. But he can score on you.
Okay.
He can't beat you.
This
He
was a
can't.
trade
No,
off
it's
for
a fact.
Sanchez, and once he stopped scoring, he became a liability. Oh, West Brom are down.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Brom are down. Poor West Brom.
Or West Brom, but I don't feel sorry for Sam Allardyce at all.
I
So
like Big Sam. I like people with a personality. I like Big Sam.
Man's a thief.
Yeah, but the man is just overt with his stealing. He's not like some people who are covert. He's overt. He wasn't trying to hide. He wasn't as smart as he probably should be, like some people. I wouldn't call him a thief. I'd say he takes advantage of opportunities. Because he would have gone to jail if he was a thief. He takes advantage of opportunities. There are loopholes he's trying to exploit.
He won one game for England, 100% record, and then he got caught trying to do a bung. Nah.
But he didn't go to jail. He wasn't arrested, so he wasn't stealing. He does what managers in the past have done. When you get caught, it's really bad. If you don't get caught, it's okay.
I tell you what, if that was a black manager, he would never have got another job. Do you know how many jobs that Sam Allardyce has had since then?
Yeah, but I mean, think about it this way. The world is not an equal place, right? It's not an egalitarian system. The world is very unfair, so...
Yeah.
Ebony, you have to understand, yeah? The whole business of football management
is
and
corrupt.
behind the scenes,
it's corrupt.
Full of brown bags.
Hey, 18, in my book, that's not beating a man. When you beat a man, you leave him behind you. You can look back and say, you know what, see you later. That's not beating a man. If I take my one on my left foot and I dribble left and you're shadowing me to the right, I haven't gone past you. We're different.
We'll agree to differ on that one, but
we agree to disagree.
Yeah.
In the UK, you haven't used to beating players, so I understand that. The history has been you had that. It's recent that you have the Fodens and the Grealish. That was not the norm. In fact, it was discouraged in the UK for a long period of time. The Barnes of the world. Think about all the skilled players you had. The people like the John Barnes of the world who did it and didn't play against 86 World Cup against Argentina when he destroyed Brazil in a friendly before. We can go with history in football. It was long ball, control, pass, and play team.
Okay, saying Pepper beat his man Bertram. You're the only one who's saying he didn't.
I don't think he beat him.
Zach scored his first league goal yesterday.
You know what, okay? I'll look at it again because maybe I missed it. I didn't think he beat him. I think he was running to the left. The opponent was to the right, shadowing him, and he scored from there. But maybe I'm wrong. You know, it'll be the first time, but maybe I'm wrong.
So what do we think of the second half? I think the second half came out all right, but then we just looked laboured in parts. And we just allowed them a bit too much of a free reign.
So where are we now in the league? We are
ninth.
We're ninth. We are 3 points behind Everton. They have a game in hand. We are 4 behind Spurs. They don't have a game in hand. Our schedule is weak enough. Our last 3 games are not the most difficult games. So is Spurs, I think. Spurs have a pretty weak run in. I think the one team that's threatened in their position is Leicester.
What's the what's up? How many points do we have now?
We have 52 points.
Poor season.
And Man City has 80, and Man United has 70. Oh, we're doing better. We're getting closer to Man City. We used to be like 40 points away from Man City, so we're improving. That's the barometer. We're improving.
I think mathematically, I think I don't think Man United will catch up with them.
No, that's done. I mean, I don't see Man City imploding that much in their last few games. They've got 3 games left. They ain't gonna lose 3 games.
And they'll win the Champions League.
They won't win. They should have beaten Chelsea yesterday. Come on, they should have won that game. That penalty by Gray was a joke. It was a joke penalty. I mean, you don't do that. I mean, what are you thinking when you take a penalty like that? We saw what's his name did it early in the season, right? Lookman from Fulham did that early in the season. Didn't work out that well, even though he tried to chip it in the corner doing the same nonsense. And I have no, you're trying to embarrass your opponent. That doesn't make sense. Why you want to do that?
So, any final thoughts about the game?
Look, it's a nothing game as far as I'm concerned. I have very little emotion left for Arsenal this season. Look, we'll have a post-mortem at some point for this season, at which point we'll, go and investigate every single error, every single mismanagement decision. But for today, job done. 3-1, we'll take that. I've got a small smile on my face.
Yeah, we can finish with 61 points if we beat Chelsea anyway in 2 games. So that's, that could get us to 6th place. we can become 6th. We're getting better. We're getting better. We were at one point in the season we were about 14th. So we're making dramatic run up the table. Think about it. We went from 14th, where we are on 9th. So Arteta can say we've improved since earlier in the season.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we've improved. We've improved since the Emery days.
Ebony, you're disappointing me. You're the optimist in this whole circle. You're the optimist, eternal optimist.
I try to be as optimistic as possible, but when you actually look at the regression, it's impossible to stay optimistic sometimes. And today it was one of those games where the pressure is off, and we'll go and win, and we'll look sexy again.
Well, we're taking 2 steps back to take 4 steps forward. That's how I'm going to look at it. I hope. So this year was a partial cleaning out. The summer should be full cleaning out because Arteta would have his own players.
In order,
should have no excuse going forward.
The team, the whole club needs a rebuild, and that starts from the top. And the owners need to sell.
So let's put it this way: the owners are not selling. So here's what Arsenal fans need to do: accept the reality; they're not selling. So what is the next best thing that you do? I have no idea, but they're not selling. They don't want to sell. They don't have to sell. They don't need the money. So you can't sit and just stew about the owners. We got to think about how do we help them? How do they put the best infrastructure in place, the best structure, the best governance structure, framework, the right people in the right seat. They execute flawlessly, and we end up being what we all aspire for us to be. Go ahead, Tony.
So this is simple. You have to have some modicum of transparency. I understand you can't have everything. As a fan, we've always never known everything. That's a given. We as fans are never allowed to have everything. But what we have at this moment in time is zero transparency. Yeah? We don't know the strategy of the manager. We don't know the strategy of the board. We don't know the hirings and firings. Things just happen, and it's like, God damn, they did that. God damn, we did this. So, point number 1, get back into reality with your fans. This thing about, we can work 20,000 miles away and run a club. I know Josh Kroenke comes over. I know Josh is the man. Yeah, I'm not expecting Stan to get on a plane and come and talk to the fans. But what I do expect is Josh Kroenke and Vinay to come and say, okay, we have to change things. We have to change the culture at Arsenal. Right now, things are toxic. Yeah, that's why people are all in on Daniel Ek, because they simply don't see a viable forward solution for Arsenal with the Kroenkes. Now, I understand your side of the argument, Bertram. I understand, and I always say, Stan Kroenke has put money into the club. Enough people keep saying, but the Kroenkes don't put money in. Rubbish. We can't have the most expensive strike force in the Premier League if they haven't put money in the club. However, what they need to do now in this current situation is come back to the table and start to build bridges with the fan base, where we can actually say, we have made an error. You know, other clubs have done it. The Cronkies have not done it. We have made an error. There are things that we have done in the past few years as a plan to move this club forward. This is where we was expecting to be. Unfortunately, due to COVID, this is where we are. This is what we plan to do to make up the difference. Yeah? It's about transparency. It's not about everything. You don't have to devolve everything to the fans, but you have to bring them in somehow. Yeah? Transfer strategies, guys. This is, you know, come to the table and say, okay, guys, we have now understood after many years of going through transfers in the summer, transfers in the winter, transfers in the summer, transfers in the winter. From now on, we're working with this statistics-based scouting mechanism as opposed to the human eye scouting mechanism, which Leicester used and employed to a good degree. And we're going to use that. Fine, great. I'm happy with that. But come out and say it. Yeah? Then you got to address, what are we going to do to help this club going forward? How do we repay the fans' loyalty? The fact that the fans are ultimately the people who own the club. Because let's be honest, as much as money as any board member has put into this club, if fans walk away from football, all football clubs fall over. Football cannot run without fans. And I'm not talking about just fans in the stadium. I'm talking about the fact that I pay a subscription to watch football. If I say, look, fuck it, I'm not going to watch football. I'm not going to go to the stadium any longer. I'm not going to buy any shirts. Your business model collapses. So we need to be more involved because we are actually the owners of the club. We are the people on the backs of whom this club has grown. You couldn't have moved from Highbury to the Emirates if it wasn't for the fans paying. Because I saw my season ticket go from £750 at Highbury to £1,200 at the Emirates. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do.
Which fans are you talking about? Which fans are you talking about?
All the fans at all levels. Those who can attend and those who can't attend. Those who watch on TV only, those who go to every game home and away.
All right, so I'll say a couple of things. So one is, we all subscribe to Sky, right? People subscribe, your internet service, Amazon, all those companies. Do we tell them how to run their business? And they can't exist without us. They can't exist without us.
Yeah.
Do we tell them how to? Do we have the audacity to tell them how to run their business?
No.
Do we tell the train service, the metro in London, the tube, to run the tube? Do we tell them how to run that business of the tube? Do we tell them how to run the trains, how the train should be run? Do we tell them? We don't tell them. We complain or they give them suggestions. We don't tell them, and they have to do it. Because what fans want is that autonomy to say, you know what, do what I tell you. No, Tony, no. I'm telling you, I've heard the fans, Bertram, Tony, Ebony, Apollo, G, Cool K, 18, Andrew. They believe that and I hear Robbie. Who tells Robbie how to run AFTV since he wants to tell Cronky what to do? Does AFTV exist without Arsenal? Maybe over time it will because he's branching out. Does he exist without Arsenal? Does AFTV exist?
No.
Would he even originate without Arsenal? So this whole concept, people got to be very careful about how they think about these things. Which is, I don't disagree, like what Chelsea is doing. So you know what, we're going to have people on the advisory board of Chelsea because we hear about the Super League, and yes, fans should have more of an input. But when you want to tell me what to do when I paid $1 billion for my business, like, who are you? Do I tell you when you buy your house how you should run your house? Like, really? You spend your money buy your house, you want to live, you'll tell you how you should run your house?
Well, whose house is it, Bertram? as I explained to you,
No, the president
we
of the
built
bank.
this
If you
club.
pay off the bank, really.
I'm sorry, Bertram. I've been a fan of Arsenal since the age of 11. That's 41 years, nearly 42 years. Yeah? The amount of money I've put into Arsenal, going home and away.
Hey, Tony, you
decades,
set me up.
4
Tony, you set me up.
decades of
Tony, you
traveling.
set me up. Tony, you've set me up. Tony, do you pay taxes?
Yes.
Does you tell the government when you elect them? You tell them how to run the country. After you elect them, put them in. Wait, no, Tony, you pay taxes.
I try.
You try. You try to tell Cranky too, and they may not want to listen.
That's what I'm saying, brother.
That's what I'm saying. So we can't use that as the example. I'm a fan. I put my money in. You put your money in a lot of different things,
bro. This is I understand what you're saying, but the fact that I don't have a say in certain things, it distresses me. It causes,
Tony, I said this the other day.
I'm with Ebony. Listen, Ebony is a social activist. Yeah, I'm a social activist. There's many things we both want to change in society. We want to change housing. We want to change education. We want to change the military. We want to change policing. We want to change banking. Yeah. So many things need addressing and changing to allow society to develop better and allow everybody equality.
I think one of the things,
Tony, you're socially conscious.
Equity. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a big difference between equity and equality. Yeah. So these are our goals. These are our goals. And I know what you're saying. I don't run the government. Do I try and say anything to change the government? But I pay tax. I don't have a choice.
And you have a choice. You have to support the Crankies. In fact, you have a choice.
But the thing is, though,
you have no choice to spend your tax dollar. You can't tell him what to do. But you tell a man who didn't force you to spend your money on him what to do. He didn't force you to support Arsenal.
Let me put this suggestion to you. Do you think that, like Chelsea, Arsenal fans should actually be on the board in some capacity?
Yeah, look, every company, and Amazon is brilliant at this. Every company realize what's the source of their revenues, what made me go, what made me exist. They understand that. They should try to find a way to make sure they keep that loyalty with their customer base and make sure the concerns of the customers are being addressed. Don't disagree with that. What I struggle with is all concept of I have to tell you and you have to listen, you have to do what I want you to do, right? And here's something. I said the other day in the previous podcast. I was in the car with my partner. She and I were going to get vaccinated. I had Sky Sports on in the radio, and they're talking about Arsenal. And she's in finance, right? And they were saying, well, they have this business, and the fans are coming to take money in the business, and they borrow money to buy the business. And she's like, what is? No, she doesn't really follow sports that well, right? But she's no business. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? That's how business runs. What are you talking about? And she get mad at me. That's how it runs. That makes no sense. And she's shaking like, this is stupid. Why are you listening to these people? They make no sense. They're idiots. And I'm like, no, it's a British thing. They believe that they should have ownership. And she's like, but it's a business. Nobody buy business with their own money. You get debt, you buy, you pay you get the money, you pay off the interest, you pay down the principal, like you do with a mortgage, and you keep the rest for yourself. You take it up when you want to. It's your money, right? And I'm like, yeah, I understand. So I'm playing the devil's advocate on this. I'm saying, yeah, I understand. But, you have to understand their side. She's like, no, there's no side. What are you talking about side? There's no side. It's flawed to think any other way. And I'm thinking, when you have cultural mismatches, that's why here's our ties out. The Cranky came to the UK. They have a view of what a business model looks like and how they want to operate. That's how they've done in their own country. And it's been very successful. And they don't realize that the whole concept of capitalism as running in where they exist and the one in the Europe and in the UK, even though it's the same in some semblance, but things are different, doesn't resonate as well when it comes to something like football, where it's people's life, basically. It's not just a hobby. It's not a nice to have. It's in the US, most sports are nice to have, frankly, and it's a hobby, no matter what people say. Because they don't go home and can't eat their dinner and will sell their car to go watch their team play. They're not doing that. They may be passionate, but they're not doing that. But in the UK, it's a little bit different, right? Your mom, your dad grew up that way. It's passed from generation to generation. It's embedded in you.
US have it. Don't forget the alma mater system. The alma mater's in the college.
That's college.
Don't forget, Bertram, don't forget that college sport is more followed than professional sport.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in professional sports, it's different from college. Right? College, you have that association. You went there, your dad went there, your mom went there. It's similar. It's a
Yeah.
better, professional sports is a little bit different. It's more far removed. You know you can't influence the owners. You can't tell them what to do. In fact, they ridicule you, consider even telling them what to do. If you go to Madison Square Garden and you criticize the owner, he takes you out of the stage, he push you out.
Yeah.
He has done that with even ex-players.
Yeah.
Charles Oakley been kicked out of the Garden. Patrick.
Yeah.
So it's a different construct, right? So you have to understand where you come from. When you go to a different culture, you got to learn the culture as quickly as possible and figure out how to maneuver it within that culture. And Kroenke haven't learned that. If they haven't learned. And when you're a billionaire, it's worse, Tony, because when you're a billionaire, nobody tells you what to do. So it's one thing to go to a different culture, and now you're a billionaire where you've always told people what to do. You've been told what to do. It's hard to change. Now I'll say this actually. You and I are on the same page on this. The Kroenke has put money into the club, but it's one thing to buy an asset or to put people in place when they're incompetent or when you buy poorly. So think about it. If the Kroenke had spent money like Leicester, Tony, where would we be? Leicester bought Mahrez. Leicester bought Kante. Leicester bought Maguire. Think about all those assets at a very low price and sell them for millions and millions and millions. Or how much was Mahrez? Like 500,000 or Kante 500,000, one of them. Like really reduced prices and made 30, 40, 50 times their money. That's what we need to do because we're not going to be like Chelsea or Man City where we put a ton of money into the club. We don't have oil money. We don't have Russian money. We don't have all that money. So we have to be very prudent with our spending.
Yeah. And it's not even, you know what, that to address that point about Leicester, it's not that we haven't bought the right players and used them and sold. It's more about when we buy players, we don't do the right thing with their contracts. We allow them.
No, Tony, it's twofold. It's twofold, Tony. So I'll give you an example. We bought Mustafi. We bought Gabriel, who we sent back. We bought Socrates. There's a ton of players we have bought, Tony, where we have the Ozil and Sanchez were good buys, right? They didn't work out really well in terms of us selling them on. But there's a number of players we have bought that you said to yourself, really? And they haven't produced. So Laka was a good buy, but Laka hasn't really produced.
Leicester do that as well. Let's be honest. Leicester do that. Not every player that they buy is a success.
Yeah, but Tony, their success rate is huge. Think about Madison.
Yeah,
think about Fofana. Think about Fanucci. I mean, you can keep going on and on. Even the kid that got hurt, was it left winger who got hurt? Who was playing really well before he tore his knee up? I can't remember his name down.
Gray?
No. Demar didn't really work out that well for them, but they didn't play a lot for him. There's another winger that got hurt, tore his knee up. It was in the England call-up more recently. I forgot his name. But he was playing really, really well. I mean, you can keep counting the list of players they have. I mean, think about their midfield. The kid from Belgium. I mean, there's tons of them. So every team or every country, every business will have some failures, but their success to failure rate is huge.
Yeah.
Ours is probably below average. So think about our guest players, for example. Aubameyang, who hit the bottom of the chart last year, did really well the year before, having a down year. Is this a continual downward spiral, or will he recover? Who knows?
I mean, the Aubameyang thing, he's only had one bad season in 2 years.
Yeah, somebody say, go back to the previous one, Apollo. They say I'm on the payroll. They can't pay me. I'm not cheap. Not how they pay their other workers who are not footballers. They can't pay me. Trust me. They don't pay well for the people unless you're Binai or Edu. And I couldn't do a worse job on Binai in the finance area, frankly, because I would not be supporting or encouraging or approving some of those acquisitions. No way, Jose. I would not approve Mustafi. I would look at him play and says, no way. He doesn't have footballing brain, so how could I buy Mustafi? You bought Gabriel. Some of the players we bought have done well in their previous.
But when you look at, if you look at the Mustafi buy straight after the World Cup, he's a World Cup winner.
Yeah, he is a World Cup winner. But if you look at him play, Tony, we watched him play. You wonder how, why.
But hang on. Most of the time, when you play for Germany as a centre back, you're a good player. Most of the time. The time. He's an exception. He is an exception.
He's an exception. But think about it. Mertesacker played for Germany, didn't he?
And a good player he is.
Yeah, but we
was.
got him on the down. We got him when he was down his downward spiral.
But he still played well for us.
He did play well, but he couldn't run to save his life.
He never could. He could never run. He was never a runner. Tony Adams was never a runner. There's
Yeah, but
players
you can't compare
who are
Tony.
not
Tony's a
runners.
positional player.
Positional players. Thank you.
Yeah. Tony's a positional player.
Because look at the final against Chelsea in the FA Cup. Mertesacker comes in, and it's
did play well. He did play well. So maybe he's a bad example. He's probably the bad example to use. He did play well. I have to agree with that. But I was never a fan of. I'm not a fan of a centre forward or a centre half who can't run. In today's football, forget about 20 years ago.
Like, I mean, 20 years ago, you're very physical. Like that, who has no speed, but is an amazing player. Olivier Giroud.
Olivier Giroud, but we got rid of Giroud, right? Because I think because of his ability, his lack of speed is his biggest detriment, right?
But everything else in his game was an A+.
Yes, it was. But speed in today's football to stretch the defense. That's why Chelsea keep playing Werner. They keep playing Werner because you know what? It stretches the defense. Is
he a speedster?
No. Don't use the word speedster and Giroud in the same sentence.
No.
They're opposites. I'm just saying Arsenal have found themselves far too often in the position of panic buys. I don't think since Wenger bought the 4 players when we got 8-3 for Man U, we have really panic buyed. I think what we haven't done is assess the quality out there, make decisions early in the transfer window, go in and get the player. We try to negotiate, we try to go on the edge. We're not definitive in our transfer policy. Look at Klopp at Liverpool. When he wants something, go on and get it. He pinpoints a player like he's doing with the kid from Leipzig, or he's done with Van Dijk, or he did with Alisson and say, that's who I want. I'm not buying anyone else, I guess I get who I want. That's what we have to do. Go out, source the talent, and go pursue them. Don't dilly-dally, don't vacillate, don't waver in your perspective. Go source them and bring them in.
I mean, that is what I expect a manager to be able to go to a club owner and say, this is what I need. And you and I both understand that concept more than most, because we understand how the American model works. So if you own a football team, or you own a baseball team, or you own a basketball team, the coach is going to come to you and say, I want LeBron James. I want Odell Beckham. Yeah? I want Jose Canseco. Whoever it is. When the coach comes to the manager, the owner of the team, and says, him is who I need. Most times, that's who he means. And he don't mean nothing else.
Yeah, I think what Bill Parcells once said was, I can't cook the meal without selecting the ingredients.
Yeah.
Right? You know what? You want me to go put a team together to be successful. I got to select who's going to bring in. So I got to have that autonomy to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Apollo, can you put your ratings back up? I think Apollo's ratings. Leno 6, Chambers 6, Holding 7, Gabriel 6.5, Saka 8, Elneny 6.5, Ceballos 3, Smith Rowe 7.5, Pepe 7.5, Martinelli 5, Williams 6, Arteta 6. So Apollo, question for you: why you gave Arteta 6? We did win 3-1. So I'm curious.
Let me, while you're waiting for the answer, Kez says Leno 6, Chambers 6.5, Holding 7, Gabriel 6.5, Saka 8, Elneny 6.5, Danny 6, Smith Rowe 6, Pepe 6.5, Martinelli 5, Willian 6.5, Arteta 7.
Okay.
I would not give Ceballos 6.
Do you want to do your ratings, Ebony, or shall I do mine?
You do yours first.
Okay, so did you just read out Greg G's?
No, I'm going to read out. Leno 5, Chambers 6, Holding 6.5, Gabriel 6, Saka 8.5, Elneny 7, Ceballos 1, Smith Rowe 7, Pepe 8, Martinelli 6, Willian 7, Arteta 7.
Okay, so I'll go Leno 7, Chambers 6.5, Holding 7, Gabriel 7, Saka 8, Elneny 7, Ceballos 5, Smith Rowe 6. No, Smith Rowe 7, Pepe 8, Martinelli 5, Willian 6. Yeah. Arteta, I'll give him a 7.5.
Okay. Bertram?
Give me 1 second. I have to send a car to go pick up my nephew. I was supposed to take them to get their shots. I decided to stay here and send them in the lift, so I gotta go send them out the lift. So give me 5 minutes. I apologize.
All right, I'll do mine. Okay, Leno 6. Still a bit too random for me. Chambers 6, Holding 6, Gabriel 6, Saka man of the match 8.5, Elneny 6, Ceballos 1, Smith Rowe I give a 7, Pepe I'll give him a 7, Martinelli 5, Willian 6. He gets a bonus point because he actually scored a wicked free kick, and Arteta 5. And it's partially because of the lineup, and partially the way he set the team up. So,
did you think the starting lineup was wrong, Ebony?
I would have liked to have seen. I mean, I'm glad Martinelli was there, but I would have liked to have seen him up front with Lacazette, and I would have liked to have seen Tierney start.
Okay. I think Tierney was a resting thing. I mean, obviously he was accelerated to play against Villarreal. He wasn't even meant to start. Only started because Xhaka played. Oh, they're showing that clear out by Elneny. That was some push. What a push that was. I can't believe VAR didn't look at that. But I think Tierney wouldn't have played from the start on Thursday had Xhaka not got injured. He obviously wasn't able to complete the whole game. And therefore today was going to be a push anyway, because I think they realised, look, when there's no way we're going to risk him. There's no way we're going to risk him.
Yeah, or basically start him and take him off the second half.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done personally, but
yeah,
but I would have loved to see Martinelli a score, but I mean he could have done, but I would have liked to have seen him start with Lacazette. But other than that, I mean I think as I said before, we do need cover for left back. We do need cover for right back. We need a new goalkeeper. What else do we need? And we basically need a clear out as well. And Xhaka is one of the players I'd ship out along with Leno, and I ship him out ASAP.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
You gave your ratings already? Sorry, I was trying to send a car over. So can I see Apollo's rating again? I'm always benchmarking my ratings against Apollo's. Oh, he didn't get Xhaka today, so there's no NAs. Good. Leno, I agree with Leno 6. He made one good save and one goal scored. And could he have saved it? Difficult to do so. Chambers 6 wasn't in the game as much as it could have been. Holding, I agree with 7. Gabriel, I think, was also a 7. I don't think Holding was better than Gabriel or vice versa. Saka 8.5. I thought he was very good today, and it does beg the question why he hasn't played there previously, subsequent to Tierney being injured. Elneny, I gave a 7, and I must admit I like Elneny. Ceballos, my biggest challenge. I thought he was okay today. He wasn't exceptional. I gave him a 5. He wasn't exceptional, but I didn't think he was a 3 or a 2. Smith Rowe 7. He scored a good goal, but he also missed a sitter that went between his legs. But overall, he played okay. Pepe, 7.5, and he has to learn to beat his man. He's forgotten how to do so. And you guys go over and check the tape. He hasn't beaten his man in quite a while. Once in a while nowadays, he does pick the ball up and run by you, which is what wingers. What Xhaka did, the first ball Xhaka touched on the wing, he faked right and went left and went by the player. Pepe hasn't done that all game. Martinelli was a 4. Martinelli was a liability today. Wasn't in the game.
Wasn't in it much.
Didn't contribute at all. Didn't do anything, frankly. William played well when he combined with Saka over on the. Started off really poorly, but improved. I can live with a 6. He scored a free kick. I can live with a 6. He scored his first goal today. Arteta, I think I gave a 7 to 7.5, and reason being because I thought he balanced out the team today. He probably played a team where he should have seen a combination of this team and the last team. Should have the one played Villarreal. I like the fact that he gave Martinelli a run up front because everyone been saying that. So obviously he's probably listening to the fans or the pundits because he's been fighting that all season and he finally did it. So I think that's a good thing. And also he plays Saka at left back, which he probably shouldn't get any credit for because Emery started that. He continued it and then keep doing it when he needed to. But apart from that, I think he did a good job actually in terms of how the team was set up today and how we played.
I would have actually started Partey as well.
No, I wouldn't start Partey. He's been breaking down too much this season. He's not reliable from a fitness standpoint. And if you play him in consecutive games, I'm afraid he's going to break down again. We need him to finish out the season, go back to Africa, get refreshed, relax, drink some coconuts wherever he is, eat some fruits, eat some vegetables, and get some carb and train and get in the gym and strengthen his body because he's been breaking down all season, get fit and come back to start the season next year.
I think the reason why he's suffered this many injuries is because he's come from a league where it's not as physical, and so it's a shock to his body. I think so. Therefore, he's going to get more injuries, and it's more physical. The Premiership.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but his was muscle.
We got something for him in Guyana. You need to get some Kaz Reap.
What's Kaz Reap?
Yeah, boy. Look it up. You there in New York, boy?
Kaz Reap. I've never heard of Kaz Reap.
Go to Queens. Yeah, there's a little place called Little.
No, I'm asking my partner. She's Guyanese. My partner's Guyanese. I'm gonna ask her.
Oh yeah.
What is Kaz Reap?
Yeah. That thing will put hairs on your chest, boy.
I would ask her about Arsenal finance. But I asked her about Kaz Reese.
Is that your partner? She Guyanese as well?
She's Guyanese, yeah. I will ask her about Kaz Reese. Kaz Reese.
Kaz Reap.
Kaz Reap. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't even show you my tattoo. Where is it? I think you can actually see the Guyanese flag right there.
Nice.
Yeah. That old pepper pot. It's a nice bowl of pepper pot.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 tennis roll.
To be honest.
Puri.
Yes. A bit like naan, but tastes better.
To be honest, I would sell Saka, Tierney, and ESR. Go on holiday. They have injuries and they have international duties with limited break for our season.
Yeah, that's tough for
Telt.
I thought that's a sell as well.
It's gonna be tough for the players who are playing in the Euro, and the players who are playing like in CONCACAF here. We're playing in all these tournaments. I don't know if the South America has any this year. They may not, but we do so in CONCACAF, it's part of the region. They won't get much of a break. CONCACAF runs July, August, then they go into World Cup qualifiers in September. You have the Euro in June, June, July. Then they start the season in August. That's a very, very tough. After playing so many games this year, you think they would get some kind of a lag? That's not happening.
Yeah.
People are going to break down like they did this, You probably have less people breaking down than you think they would. But then again, given COVID, you don't go on and party as much as you used to. So you're probably more time relaxing. You're not getting as much activity as you used to as a player, so it's probably more relaxing a year than normal, even though they had many games.
Yeah,
I need some Kaz Reap. What else? Saka should be at home resting from carrying these dead ass old seniors all season. I never want to see Tierney play the rest of the season. Sorry, I never want to see Tierney play the rest of the season. He should be at home focusing on rehab and strengthening.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think those players who have struggled through the season with repeated injuries off and on, right now, just go strength training. Just go strength training. You know, there's no need for you to be pushing yourself to try to make games. Listen, the season is done. All we should be doing right now is saying, okay, where there's players now out, bring some youngsters in. Let's see those youngsters. You know, you got 3 games left. There's only 3 games left. You might as well just say, you know what? If we need to see a new left back, let's see what this young kid can do.
Yeah.
You know, be bold.
Start playing Aziz.
You know, some of them kids need to be blooded. I mean, it's like a boxer. At some point in time, you have to throw a boxer in with a pedigreed boxer, because otherwise, giving him bums all the time, it's just never going to make you know the reality of whether a guy's going to cut it or not.
Yeah,
and this is why I always say, we've got to rely on the children.
Yeah,
rely on the young ones.
Aziz and Lopez at the very minimum.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't, if the older players this season weren't injured, the likes of Saka and Smith Rowe would never have gotten a sniff.
Absolutely.
No, that is true.
And I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of Arteta stifling players. He stifled Reece Nelson in favour of Willian. You know, he sent out. Well, it could be a combination of him and Edu. He sent out Ainsley Maitland-Niles on loan, Willock on loan, Saliba on loan. Who else? Marapinas on loan. Guendouzi on loan. Torreira. All these players we could have actually done with this campaign.
True.
But then some managers don't fancy certain players, right? That's probably what you're having. Some managers like who they like, and that's their style. You just have to live with it. Hopefully it works out for them. But
I mean, the thing that kills that is that you saw how good and useful a player like Ainsley Maitland-Niles was last year. At the end of last season, he was such a standout player. He could play you 3 positions with great aplomb. So you kind of go, well, surely that's not the guy you're sending away.
Exactly.
I think Ainsley's problem was he played a couple of games at left back, and one of them he was really, really bad. Remember that game? And I think the manager lost faith in him.
Well,
he was beyond bad.
In that case, if he's that bad in a certain position, you play him in his right position, or you play him in his preferred position. You don't send him out on loan and then watch him play well. The same with Willock. It's like you don't give him a chance. You send him out of Newcastle, and he scored more goals than our midfield this season.
Well, I think the thing with Willock is that we had Ceballos, we had Xhaka, limited Partey per se, El Neni. They got more preferential treatment. He wasn't seen he was a hybrid player. He wasn't seen as a 10, a pure 10, but then he's not seen as a truly defensive midfielder either. So he was in that no man's land in a sense in terms of how you view him. And even though he scores in the Europa League and in one of the league matches, not the Premier League, but I think maybe it was the League Cup, but he scored out of FA Cup, he scored at World against Liverpool. He still didn't provide a comfort for the manager. And that's why he probably decided that, let me go have him get experience. But we know he has goal scoring. And first of all, think about our team. We don't score goals. No matter who you are, if you're West Brom, Newcastle, you probably have more opportunity than we do, because at one point we weren't scoring goals at all. Our front three was Pepe, William, and Aubameyang, or Laka, William, and Aubameyang. It was the same players not scoring at all. Then when they got injured, we played the kids against Chelsea, and all of a sudden we start scoring. And then, it changed. So he wouldn't have gotten a chance to score as many goals, frankly. At Newcastle, he can play wherever he wants to play. And even more recently, he got benched. People don't realize he got benched before this last game, like 3 games in a row. But each game he came in, 80 minutes, he scores.
Exactly.
70 minutes, he scores. 90 minutes, he scores. So, because, the manager gives him free reign to play his game.
And he's also badly treated he also treated what's his name really badly, Nketiah. He's not everybody's favorite cup of tea, but he's mine.
He's not even in the cup as far. I don't want to be hard on him, but Ebony's not in the cup. He's not in the cup. I'm sorry, but the kid probably has potential. I don't think he's Arsenal quality though. That's my concern. So I don't want to badmouth any player, frankly, because even William, even though I'm hard on William, I liked William when he played for Chelsea. I thought he was a very good player. That free kick he scored today was normal at one point for him. It wasn't an aberration; it was normal. He scored free kick like joke, like penalties. All of a sudden, he stopped taking them for Chelsea. He wasn't doing them for us. Sometimes players get in a funk and they can't get out. They don't know how to get out of it. Hopefully, William will come back strong next year and be the William that we all knew at Chelsea. The William who Tottenham was trying to get when he went to Chelsea. Hopefully, that'll be the case. But right now, he's just lost form. So Kuke say I'm not giving. I'm assuming you're saying Nketiah a chance. Look, I mean that's fair point. We haven't seen him play enough, but whenever I see him play, he doesn't differentiate himself. So I see Saka play, differentiate himself. I see Smith Rowe play, differentiate himself. And Nketiah doesn't differentiate himself. He play a whole game, you don't know he's on the field.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm always forgiving players chances, and I just think, the fact that he hasn't played, he's always on the bench. Just give him a good run out.
But see,
like
good run out,
he
it's
was
hard.
under Emery and Wenger.
It's hard, Ebony, because you have Laka and Abba, two of your highest paid players, and they're gonna get the run out, right? Then you have Martinelli, who could, play between any position up front. So it's hard for him to get that run out. And then we have pressure to win games because we have been doing well. Like you're doing like City, where you can take a risk and say, you know what, let me play him today. It's hard to do that when you don't have that flexibility given your league table position or given your Europa League situation. And we've given Eddie plays in Europa League. We have been on this road, me and Bertrand. He never talks about the hard defensive work Eddie does. Yeah, but Apollo, I hate to tell you this, Apollo. I hate to tell you this, but he's not here to defend. He's here to score goals. You judge striker by how much ball they put in the net. You don't judge them by how great. You judge them by all the qualities they have. And defense is good. I agree with that, Apollo. He works hard. But if you're not scoring goals, that's your primary job. Like I'm a basketball player, my job is to score baskets, but I play defense really well. I box out really well, I rebound, but I'm not scoring points. Then you lose what you're there for, your primary purpose. It's all great, those are the attributes, but you got to score.
Yeah, but he's young. He's still got potential. He's going to make mistakes. Give him a proper run out. Sometimes sometimes you have to drop not Aubameyang and just start him up front.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Start him up front with Lacazette.
So you start him up front and it doesn't work out well, and have the fans complain like he's not good enough. Why you start him? That's why we're losing. You don't know what you're doing as a manager.
Or maybe
can't win.
Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Or maybe there's part of his game where he tries too hard. I don't know.
But here's the thing, Ebony. So he plays against Europa League competition, which is inferior to the Premier League, and he doesn't do really well. So if that's the case, you're going to put him in a more difficult situation with better players and expect him to play better. I'm not sure that's going to be the case, especially when we're struggling. I don't see that as the case at all. Well, yeah.
Well, this is the thing about Arteta, not his man management. If that's the route we're gonna go down, it's his man management.
Yeah, I mean, look, I wouldn't say man. I would think man management is the point of saying we should give him more opportunities, and I understand that, but we don't necessarily have the luxury to do that. Even in Europa League, after when we get to the round of 16, because every game is a pressure game. In the League Cup, yes. In the FA Cup, yes. And he got running in those, even the early part of the Europa League. But it's very difficult when you get to knockout phases or the more important games, or in the league. Frankly, every game seems to be important this year. It's hard to give him. It's hard to give him a start when you can't justify starting him when you have Laka and Aubameyang. It's hard to justify that. Instead of those two, it's hard to justify that.
Well, I mean, sometimes I'd rather see Nketiah than Aubameyang. because Aubameyang has actually been off the ball this season. I mean, yes, he has made a little bit of a comeback, but for me, he's actually been off the ball this season.
So here's something. So when here's Arteta can't win, and that's why it's difficult to be a manager. So when we played against Villarreal and we took Aubameyang off in the 80th minute, Arteta got crucified. Right? Now he didn't replace a striker for a striker. He got crucified when he got replaced. I think it was Lacko came on for him. So it's hard to see where the manager can ever win when we have differing views by everyone, by pundits, by fans. It's hard for him as a manager to get that consensus. You never have consensus. Now, if you win, it's fine, but don't lose. Whatever decision you make is great when you win. No matter how bad it may have been and it worked out, it's fine. But if you lose, so it's all about outcomes. Apollo, I didn't see that previous message. Can you put it up, please? You had a previous comment up. I'm not sure if it was you, Apollo.
I'm lost. I've already shown Bertram the goals that Eddie scored against teams that have won league games for us.
So I'm gonna try to be nice because it's hard for me sometimes to be nice and say, I wish Eddie the best of luck. I hope he finds a very good team to play for. I hope West Ham give him the opportunity. By the way, guys, he didn't beat Bamford at Leeds. I know people keep complaining about it was Bielsa. Bielsa is a brilliant manager, period. Not disputable. And he saw Bamford as a better player, and Bamford can't really run. Bamford's a good player, don't get me wrong. Score some good goals, but Bamford is not an elite striker, right? And you want Eddie to play for Arsenal, he's a big club, but he can't get into the Leeds team. I'm struggling with that. And by the way, Bielsa so Arteta doesn't think he's good enough. Bielsa doesn't think he's good enough, and we're saying he's not getting a fair shake. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Leeds fans were saying that Nketiah was like their best player when he was out on loan.
No, he scored a lot of goals because he comes on like he did last time and he get a toe poke in. We're talking about the entire game. So G says, Apollo AFTV have a view of Eddie that people who follow their channels have embraced. G, I tell you this about my views, and I'm gonna be nice by saying this, which is, you can't influence me about certain things in life. I don't drink or smoke, so I give you a view of who I am. I used to go to clubs and they tell me, "We give you some milk, sir," to make me feel really bad. It doesn't work. I have my own independent thought, how I think, and I have my own perspective based on performance. I try to be, and we all bias, right? No matter what we say, we are biased in our own ways. So I'm sure I'm biased, but I try not to be. I try to be objective. And I think the attribute I work on most in my life is awareness. How aware am I as a person in a number of different facets? And I'm aware about certain things, and I'm aware that Eddie's not good enough. I'm sorry, he's just not. It's not good enough.
We're going to have to agree to disagree. I like
exactly. No, I mean, okay. Will you want Eddie as the number one starting forward?
I'll play the decision maker. Ebony, you like Eddie. Bertram, you don't think he's good enough. I agree with Bertram. I don't think he's good enough.
Wow.
So Ebony, who would you start him over Ebony? Okay, which top 6 team can Eddie get into in the Premier League? Which top 6 team? Top 10 team. Top 10 team. No, you know what? The entire Premier League.
I think if Nketiah was in any other side, I don't know, maybe Liverpool or Man City, he'd actually get the best out of him. The manager would get the best out of him, more so than Arteta.
So, okay, give you an example. Nketiah is a hard worker. He runs all game. He's physical. He even got a red card this year, right? He got a red card because he puts a foot in. But can he go by a player? His off-the-ball movement exceptional. He's exceptional in the air. Can he score other than a toe poke? Can he score from outside the box? Can he make a true pass to a player? Can he split the lines? What? Something about all these assets and facets of a player and attributes they should have. And I hear hard worker. What hard work am I hearing? We should all work hard. If in our jobs we don't work hard, that's a problem. We should all work hard. But what else am I hearing apart from being a hard worker?
I know I'm outnumbered here, but I'm always, I'd still give him a chance. Just like Pepe, I'd still give him a chance.
Look, I think Pepe is a very good footballer. I think Pepe has lost some confidence, which he seems to be getting back nowadays. I watch Pepe on YouTube. You look at YouTube, you look at playing games, and you look at collection of things they have done. And if you watch him on YouTube, go watch him on YouTube. How he bamboos defenders and destroy defenders. That has gone. I don't know where it went to. It's disappeared, and that's very sad actually. One is because of my enjoyment, and two is because you need to do that in the game to really get by players to set up your teammates and to score goals. What has happened to that Pepe who first came and had Van Dijks and skates and saying the first person to go on Van Dijk for a year and a half? Where's that Pepe? He's lost confidence in beating anyone because you know what? He's thinking if I try to beat him, I may lose it, and he's losing it when he loses the ball. So he has to go back to the old Pepe with freedom, take risk, and hope the rewards outweigh the detriments.
I mean, the thing I would say about Pepe is, I always revert back to the interview that about a year, well, 3/4 of a year ago. It was Lacazette and Aubameyang were being interviewed by Ian Wright, and they said Pepe in training is phenomenal. He kills people. He's right. And sometimes you see it. You see it in the training videos sometimes. And I know, Ebony, you're going to say, but I never want to believe training. But there is a skill. This kid came with a skill. We saw it that he had it when he was in France. And somehow, Bertram, you're right. He has lost that ability to just be a player. And you're right. We look at when he first hit the league and he's running past Van Dijk and you're thinking, rotted. That is when we went presence, blood, because we thought we had something different. A game changer. Now, he's not proved to be £72 million worth, but he's proved to be a good player.
He's a good player.
You just want to see that little extra bit that, you're alluding to, which is the beating of the man. If he beats a man and he can score a header, he becomes almost the perfect player at Arsenal. He's almost Thierry Henry-like.
Tony, there was a player that he made. I think it was Brighton he played. Either Brighton or Burnley in the middle of the field. He was going that way. He came back, picked the ball gave him the ball between his legs. We call it salad. You call it nutmeg. And went the other way. It was highlight. It was played. When you roll the tape back and forth, that was the highlight that we had of him in terms of his skill, which was everyone was lauding him about. And all of a sudden, I'm watching him play. I'm like, why don't you go by the player? You have him one-on-one. Like Xhaka did today, numerous times. Xhaka went by him like a joke. I fake right, I go left, I'm gone. See you later. We're not seeing. And then when you do that, you create mismatches because you know you're in the box. All of a sudden, you're in the box. And when you get in the box, defenders have to be very careful about how they tackle you in the box, especially nowadays. Because they breathe on you, you fall over. So you got to do that to get the player behind you. He has to foul you. Like Sterling yesterday got fouled. Sterling got in the box, and got fouled, they didn't call it. But at least you give them a decision to make. Right? Yeah. And he's losing the ball. Not only that, Tony, he's losing the ball.
Yeah.
He's getting dispossessed. Yeah. But you don't want to hop on Pepe because I think he's a very good goal scorer when given the opportunities. He needs to take more of them. He's one of our only players scoring from outside the box on a more regular basis, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these goals are on the edge of the box or outside the box. We don't get that. I don't see that from Aubameyang anymore. Obama, Laka, who have those in their repertoire in their bags. I don't
and
see
whose
that
fault is
anymore.
that? Yeah, but whose fault is that you don't see them scoring from outside the box anymore?
The problem that we have is, when we had Wenger, Tony, we'd create chances galore.
Yeah.
We missed chances, but it didn't matter because we know we're going to create them. Now you can't afford to miss a chance. Came in and I get another one. That's our problem. We used to create chances. That's why you watch Arsenal. The football was flowing. It's like poetry in motion. Chances great. We miss. You say, you know what? Next time that was beautiful. Oh, we missed a chance. So who cares? We're gonna get 10 more. Now, if you get 2 in a game, you consider yourself lucky. We don't have shots on target. We have 1 shot on target and 5 by Partey, who's in the stands looking for something he lost. We're not, it's just we don't create a situation anymore. So it's very difficult for fans. And you know what? We can't possess the ball like we used to. We can't keep possession. We keep turning the ball over.
I know. Yeah. It's like we get the ball and we get bullied off of it. I don't know what that's all about. Or maybe that's down to managers doing their homework and getting their tactics right.
Yeah, so Arteta has micromanaged the flair and sauce out of Pepe, pushed out into his head. Yeah, when he first came, look, that's why Emery, when we went to Liverpool, Emery played him up front, right? He played him in center forward position. Emery was not the worst manager, Emery got cute. Play him up, you say, you know what? Liverpool playing this way, they press us high. I'm gonna isolate Pepe and Van Dijk. And if Pepe had scored that goal, he would have probably been legendary because he destroyed Robertson, should have scored, didn't, and the rest is history.
Welcome, Gunnar Matters. Listen, guys, I'm gonna have to cut you short because
same here.
I have a couple of calls to make, but it's been good. Sorry,
any final thoughts?
Yeah, it's been final thoughts. As I said before, the season for me is over. I just want to see youngsters. Anyone who's carrying a knock, get them out, get them on holiday, get them in recoup, get them in rehab. Right now, I hope to see some of the youngsters playing in the next 3 games. We've got nothing to play for. There's no difference between 8th, 9th, and 10th. They all gain you nothing.
Basically.
Look, I think players like Balogun should be given an opportunity to see.
Absolutely.
Because the transition year for them, he just signed a 4-year contract. Try to blend him in from now, get him into the feet of the Premier League and what it's like and the level of the competition. So he has a feel, so hopefully he will do that. I doubt he will, frankly. I get the sense he wants to have the best. He wants to get as much points as possible.
Yeah.
Because he can inflate the number by the end of the year to say, you know what, I came 7th. I was just 1 point behind West Ham or 1 point behind Spurs.
Blah, blah.
Yes. As a manager, you want to have the best situation as possible, best position finish as possible. So I'm sure he's going to do that.
I mean, let's. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I think he's got to play a strong team against Chelsea. Yeah,
yes,
of course.
He has to play a strong team against Chelsea. But the 2 games after that.
Bye, G.
See you later, G.
Take care, guys. So that's my final thoughts, guys. Have a great week.
Well,
Happy
my final thoughts is
to our fans in America.
Yep. Just give you my final thoughts before we go. We started off slow. We picked it up at the end, but for me, today's result was too little, too late. We should have been, beating these teams early on in the season, but we didn't. So that being said, a massive clear out needs to happen. And I think we should all do an autopsy and see who needs to go and who should stay.
So I'm sure we'll have end of year comments, but I'll say is that it's been a long season. We started out very optimistic. We're in the top 4 at one point, like Spurs. Spurs were actually at the head of the table at one point, but Spurs and us are probably the same boat. We have regressed as expected. The players we have good resumes, but their resume doesn't reflect their performance. And we hope at some point that will turn around, getting some new players. We can talk end of the season about what we need to do, but we hope that through the end of the season, we win our remaining games, end on a good note, and hopefully for next season, we'll be in a better place.
All right,
at the start of the year, everybody's great at the start of the year. So
yeah, we're all optimistic at the beginning, and then our hopes get dashed. Yep. All right, folks. Until the next game, which is Tuesday against Chelsea. Much love.
Okay.
And see you on Tuesday.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Guys.
Bye.